The college football season is upon us, and we've got a busy weekend. It all starts with the UTSA Roadrunners opening up the season at home. They'll take on Kennesaw State. It's an orange out in the Alamo Dome. Kickoff set for 2:30. The Texas Longhorns open up the season in Austin against Colorado State, also at 2:30. And the Aggies, a big one against 7th-ranked Notre Dame in Aggie land. Kickoff set for 6:30. You can hear it right here on 94.1.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on this Football Friday. The high school football season officially here. College football started last night. We got games tomorrow. Reinagel live out at the I-10 Ice House, which is going to be a happening place today and this weekend for college football.
And it should be, Jason. I tell you what, this place is fantastic. You got TVs all over the place, games, food, and we're having fun today. You need to come out and see us because there's a lot going on out here. Sorry you have to miss this, but you get a burger with chips today for $2.08. $2.08. You can get a cheeseburger for $2.31, and then you want to mix in a cold beer with that, $2.08. Cheeseburger, chips, and a beer for about $6. Hell of a deal.
You can't beat that. And I like prices like $2.08 and $2.31. Let's just, I mean, you go there. And just for our regular listeners that understand Joe Reinagel and his bladder, Joe Reinagel realized the specials by the poster on the wall in the men's room. Not from, our staff saying, hey, man, we're going to run these big specials, not the commercials that he's heard, all that. It's he was standing there taking a leak and was reading and went, hey, that's a hell of a deal.
Well, it's funny because as I sit here, to my right, just slightly to my right, is the biggest bar in this place. It's right in the middle of the place, and there's a poster there. But as soon as I got here, obviously, I'd had some tea at lunch, so I went down and had to go to the bathroom, and there it is right there. Right, staring me in the face, and I'm going, Jason looks pretty good over a urinal.
So do you, and it's insane. It is insane. With you think about, you want to get a guy a message, put the poster in front of the urinal. It works. It does. I'm glad that you missed out on the $2.31 cheeseburger. But I know Greg Shelton will enjoy a couple of those. And before you leave, you might grab one. I felt like I scored at lunch today. I'm over here at Hero Stadium getting ready for tonight's high school broadcast. We got Johnson against Judson tonight. So I stopped at Lenny's to grab a sandwich on the way up here. And it's a buy one, get one today only. I'm like, all right. Wow. And again, then I realized, I was like, do you want it? And I'm thinking, well, of course, it's a free sandwich. I was surprised I was surprised at the number of people that said no, they didn't want the free sandwich, which I appreciate. If you're not going to eat it, don't waste it. But I know either John Robbins or Nick Solis, somebody will eat it because, tonight I get my first Frito pie of the football season.
That's right. So you're not going to be eating any sandwich tonight. You got to get a Frito pie, dude.
Yeah, I'm not getting a secondhand sandwich. I mean, Robbins will eat that, or I'll give it the pledge next Thursday and he'll enjoy it.
He'll enjoy it whenever you see him. That'll be fine. But, I will just looking at it, Ryan is out here. He just got a cheeseburger. It looks really good. So I have a feeling before I leave here tonight, there will be a cheeseburger in my future and probably, Jason, a cold beer as well.
Yes, that's it. And I tell you, the food there at I-10 Ice House is solid. I mean, that's a hell of a cheeseburger for $2.
No doubt.
You're not going to find a better value than that. And it's a great place to go hang out, watch games, and, for a variety of other things, if you're playing pool, darts, whatever you want to do there at I-10 Ice House and watch football. And, man, it was nice watching football last night. Had a couple of really good games. Colorado, I said yesterday, man, don't schedule a Dakota. And they damn near won that game. They more importantly covered. That late score even though they didn't get the 2-point conversion. And you think about those guys in Vegas, they know that incredible catch by Travis Hunter put Colorado up by 11. They were favored by 10.5. And if you happen to take North Dakota State in the points, you were feeling bad. And then, of course, they go down and they score. They don't get the 2, but they covered. For some of us, that's a win.
You know what? I tell you what, Jason, everybody talks about Shedeur Sanders, and he's a hell of a player. There's no doubt about it. But that Travis Hunter, man, that kid is something else. And I don't know what he's going to do in the pros or where he's going to play. The kid can do it all. And it's just fantastic to watch that guy play. I mean, he doesn't miss a play. He's on the field for the entire time. And, man, that kid is something special. I'm going to tell you.
I tell you, as a wide receiver, watching him run routes in his incredible hands, you look at that catch he made, well covered. That was solid. As a defensive back, a little handsy, gets away with some that you would think would be an easy call for an official, but if they don't throw the flag, it's not a foul. But the stamina that he has, I saw the stat, he played 129 of the 131 snaps. One of the plays he missed, he had to leave the field because he lost his helmet. And then the other one, I don't know, he needed a breather. And listening to the broadcast crew last, the way he takes care of his body, he's very open that he doesn't go out and party. He doesn't, do a lot of things besides play football and take care of his body and play video games. He's not a party kid. He should be in the Heisman conversation, regardless of how well Colorado does this year. And Shedeur Sanders, the ability that he has and some of his throws are pro style. He will be a first-round quarterback next year. The question is, will he survive? That kid got sacked so many times a year ago, and last night, while they upgraded the offensive line, they were pretty leaky against North Dakota State.
Well, North Dakota State's no slouch. I mean, they're not.
No.
We talked about that yesterday a little bit. They're no slouch. But you talk about Hunter being handsy. Who do you think's teaching him? Deion Sanders, for goodness sake. How do you think Primetime got away with all that stuff? He was a little handsy as well. You just got to know how to do it and not get caught. I just love watching that kid play, though. I really do. But I tell you what, give North Dakota State their props and all of that. But I think Colorado, man, I think they're in trouble. I'm just not sure that they're that great a team. Now, granted, it was a first game, but I just don't think that they've got it, man. There's a lot of hype, but I just don't think they have it.
Well, there's obviously a lot of hype coming into the Big 12, but just watching them last night, offensively, they've got some talent. They ran the ball a little bit more. Defensively, they were awful last year, and they're not much better. The offensive line is still leaky, although they did bring in that true freshman that was starting last night who went to the IMG Academy. He looks like he's one of those legit kind of players, but it will take some time. And I know, Deion has adopted this us against everybody mentality, and everybody wants to watch them lose and all of that. And I don't know how true that is, but if that's the mentality you want to adopt, I mean, Colorado is one of those teams that you don't give a damn about. I mean, there are teams, college programs that you just don't like, that just runs deep in your soul for years. Notre Dame comes to mind. USC comes to mind. Oklahoma comes to mind. And some of it depends on where you are. Colorado's never been that program. I don't know who really hates Colorado, but when you see all the flash and all the hype and they don't live up to it, those errors are coming. And that comes with the territory. But I don't know how many people just are rooting for Colorado to lose. I know that if you're betting against them because you don't have confidence in what they do as a football program, sure, you want to win your bet. Like last night, I just needed North Dakota State to not lose by 11, and they didn't.
Now they came through, and well, props to you. Congratulations. And I don't know why anybody is surprised that Deion Sanders, a coach Deion Sanders team, is like their coach. I mean, he's always been cocky. He's always been confident, and that was the beauty of Deion Sanders. Loved watching that dude play, and I thought he was just a breath of fresh air when he played. The dancing into the end zone and all that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff. And so if his team's a little bit cocky, a little bit arrogant, so be it. They're just taking on the personality of the head coach, and I love it. I don't really care what they do in the season. They win, lose, doesn't really matter to me because it doesn't affect me, but I'm not openly going to root against them, but there are a lot of people out there, Jason, that are, and for whatever reason, just don't like what they're doing there at Colorado, and I don't understand it, but for me, it doesn't matter either way.
Well, and again, you think about last night's football. We had a couple of good games. North Carolina, that ended up actually being a pretty good game, even though North Carolina lost their quarterback, who's familiar to a lot of us in Max Johnson. But, that game was delayed because of weather. There was all kinds of stuff going around. I was flipping back and forth between that, the two different high school games that were on. But I see the very end, Minnesota's got a chance to win. They line up, they miss the field goal, and fireworks go off. The first game for everybody.
Well, somebody told him that this guy was pretty good, I guess, their kicker, and he never misses. So it's just bam. You expect him to make that. He should make it, right?
He should make it.
Those poor
kids
should
make it.
But I can tell you, fireworks.
As I sit here at Hero Stadium, and my seat, I'm on the 41-yard line looking right down the field. But when you look at the goalposts, right, and there's not a lot of background because there's stadium back there. I have learned through the years of broadcasting, I don't say if that kick is good or not until I see the official tell me what it is, because it might look good from where I'm sitting, and then they say no good. Right? I can't tell you how many times that has happened. I've seen them where they look like they've missed badly, and they're saying they're good. And then you watch the replay and say, I saw that, right? The ref missed it. So I always wait until the ref tells me. And I think last night, whoever was in charge of hitting the power button on the fireworks got excited, thought it was good, and they got fired today.
They're just kids,
job.
Man. It's their kids. Maybe they're not. I don't know who's running that thing. But, I mean, they got excited. They thought they were about to celebrate and have a great time because of the last-second field goal. And, it didn't work out that way. They probably got a strongly worded letter from the chancellor.
You had one job. You had one job. And they messed it up. Although, season opener for everybody. And did you see the Stephen F. Austin game last night?
Well, no, I didn't. And it's probably a good thing I didn't, because it was a bloodbath, for goodness sake. It was terrible. I mean, oh, my gosh.
Stephen F. Austin beat a college nobody's ever heard of, 77-0, which last year they won something like 98-0. The game was 70-0 at halftime, so they agreed to play a 10-minute second half. The third quarter was 5 minutes. The fourth quarter was 5 minutes. And I got to tell you, that's chicken bleep. If you sign up for a game, you play the whole one. There's a lot of programs out there that lost a lot of bad games, and I know some of those coaches, and they probably wish they could have had a 10-minute halftime or a 10-minute second half. But you got to ride out all four quarters. I think it's worse to say, you know what? We changed the rules because we sucked. I'd rather lose 150-0 than say we didn't. We were getting beat so bad, we just changed the rules and we agreed to it. Just go home, call the game. Why even? I've seen coaches go running clock. That's fair. Do that. But to say let's agree to a 5-minute second half, that's BS.
Well, that I agree with, and screw the running clock. Look, did you sign up to play football or not? It doesn't matter. You sign up to play football, you play football. You play 12 minutes a quarter, 15, whatever it is in college these days, and you play that. And you live with the consequences. Otherwise, do away with the football program at, what was that school?
The North American School of the what were they actually called? I'm trying to remember.
We can't even remember. And it really doesn't matter. But I mean,
something North American something on ESPN. They don't have a mascot graphic. On ESPN, they don't even have it to a link to where you can actually click through to their school's website. I'm not even sure it's a real university. It might be like one of those fake high schools that we saw play IMG Academy, and they made a 30 for 30. I'm not even sure if this is a real university because you can't find anything about them, although there is video of them getting their ass kicked by Stephen F. Austin.
Just play or do away with the program, one of the two, because it's not right. I mean, now, I don't know what Stephen F. Austin got out of that football game last night. They're probably better off, just scrimmaging against their own guys. But, if you're going to play a football game, you're in there. You come for the whole ride. You don't quit. You don't make 5-minute quarters. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And you take your lumps and you move on.
North American University, the ESPN abbreviation is NOAM. NOM. But again, by the way, they're the Stallions.
The Stallions.
With no logo. Yes, they are the Stallions.
As in Connor?
Well, I mean, that's a bad 30 for 30 on it's a Netflix documentary, the Connor Stallions. Save yourself the time. It is fascinating, but that is clearly a PR maneuver by Connor Stallions. Although incredible skill of stealing all those signs, that is for sure.
Hey, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, as somebody said.
Well, that's the thing. At what point are you cheating? Sign stealing is legal. There are ways you can do it. There are people on staffs whose job it is to decipher. And group chat must be incredible. I don't know. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Ryan Engel live out at the I-10 Ice House. Go see Joe. Take advantage of their beer and cheeseburger special. The Cowboys running back room did out at Dalvin Cook this week, and we finally heard from Dalvin Cook. What's that room really going to look like? We'll talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, it's a full weekend of college football, and that means you want to have some action on a lot of the games. Whatever game you want, you need to have some action on it. The best place to do that is BetUS.com. That's who I use. I love it. It's easy. It's fun. And they've got all the stuff that you could ever want. BetUS.com. If you want a game plan to win this season, you got to check them out. They went large for you this season. In fact, check this out. 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That's right. 125% bonus with your first 3 deposits. That is simply unheard of. BetUS also offers what other sportsbooks simply don't offer, like gambler's insurance, crypto bonuses, casino bonuses. Plus, they have all the products you need: competitive odds, parlays, live betting, odds boost, and prop betting. And when you're ready to lay down your bet, have some knowledge going in behind you. They have got expert analysis and predictions on all major sports on their very own BetUS TV. It is a great place to go. I go there. You should as well. Get started today at BetUS.com, or you can give them a call at 1-800-MY-BET-US. 1-800-MY-BET-US. BetUS, that's where the game begins.
San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Smoky Moe's Texas Barbecue is the best neighborhood barbecue in San Antonio. Stop in for a signature chopped Baker potato. Pick up brisket, turkey, and mac and cheese for family dinner. Order freshly made breakfast tacos. Whatever you choose. Smoky Moe's Barbecue serves great tasting Texas barbecue fast and friendly. Tailgating? Order Smoky Moe's Barbecue for your perfect tailgate or game watching party. They'd love to see you at any area Smoky Moe's. Order for pickup or delivery at SmokyMoe'sBBQ.com. Smoky Moe's. The pit is lit.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-445-6363. That's 1-800-445-6363. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-445-6363. That's 1-800-445-6363.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
941 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pregame at 5:30 on 941 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinego live at the I-10 Ice House. Go see him. I'm Jason Minix. Oh, I tell you what, lots and lots and lots of college football happening this weekend. And I'm excited for it all. And I can't wait until the NFL gets going. And one of the questions, Reinego, that we've talked about all offseason is, what are the Cowboys really going to do at the running back position? And the reality is, I don't know that Jerry gives a damn. That's clearly an area that he will not invest money. You remember all the years that Jerry wouldn't pay for a safety to save his life?
Yep.
Are we that way? Are we that way now with running backs?
I think so. And you know what? I think it's Zeke Elliott's fault. I think he burned Jerry in a way. Although he gave Jerry a couple of good years after that big contract, but then he went downhill pretty quick. And I think that kind of burned Jerry a little bit, and he still got a bad taste in his mouth about that. Although I will say, Jason, and I'm coming around to Dalvin Cook, I really can't wait to see this guy run the football. just 50% of what he used to be. And I think this guy can make a difference for this Dallas football team.
Which is a sad commentary when you think about that. You're right. He might make a difference for this football team because this football team's running back room is so damn bad. I mean, again, if Dalvin Cook at 50% of what he used to be, which is what you just said, can come in and make a difference, that is a sad state of affairs for where the Dallas Cowboys running back room is right now. Now, Dalvin Cook, I don't even know if he realizes who all is in the running back room that he will now share.
Yeah, obviously I feel like this is a great opportunity for me to come in and help a great organization, win football games. And, as I look around and I look at the running back room, it's a bunch of guys in there, that I can go in there and run the football with. Obviously Zeke, Rico, you got Deuce in the room. Some guys that I could go help out and, push those guys. We could be a great room together.
Yeah, the problem is he couldn't find Deuce for a minute. He looked right over him, so he had to look around and finally found Deuce walking around there in the corner.
Yeah, let's go with the short guy jokes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, did you hear him? He's like, yeah, we got a running back room with you've got to be kidding me. I mean, right? Yeah, there's a bunch of guys in there. That's true. The room is full. Now, granted, if you're Dalvin Cook, you're in a better situation personally than you were a year ago when you were clearly a distant to Breece Hall. He knows he's going to get opportunity. He says he's in great shape. Well, of course, everybody that's interviewed for a job has interview mode, right? We all know that. I'm in interview mode. You're doing everything right. You're not going to say, yeah, dude, I'm not in shape. Talk to the media for the first time. What are you going to, hey, what's left in your tank? Dude, my tank is full. Of course it is. I will say I wanted him a year ago. I think he would have been a great 1-2 punch with Tony Pollard. I'm not mad at Dalvin Cook or the signing of it. I would have rather gone and got a younger guy if he were available. But with Dalvin Cook, I've got Zeke Elliott. I've got two guys to maybe get a full running back throughout the season.
Dalvin Cook is going to surprise you, Jason Minix.
I hope.
And I'm saying that, and I can't believe I'm on the positive side of this. I'm on the positive side of something.
Well,
the Dallas
of course
Cowboys.
You're going to root for the old guys.
Dalvin Cook is going to surprise you. He gets 1,000 yards this year. I guarantee it. 1,000 yards for Dalvin Cook. Look, he's going to overtake Zeke Elliott before you know it. And Zeke will have his time, short yardage perhaps, but Dalvin Cook will be your starting running back sooner than you think. And 1,000 yards, my friend. Watch.
It's been a while since we've done a beer bet.
Yeah,
now it's going to take a long time to pay off, so James Pledge is going to have to keep good notes on that. And this would be a case of beer I'd love to give you, but I don't see Dalvin Cook getting 1,000 yards. I think Dalvin Cook and Zeke Elliott combined will go over 1,000 yards, but individually, there's no way Dalvin Cook goes over 1,000 yards. If you want to beer bet that on your guarantee, I'd love to take that beer bet.
Pledge, write it down. I'm taking it right now. 1,000 yards for Dalvin Cook. Write it down. I know we got 17 weeks before we'll know. We'll probably know before that. I'll win way before that. But we got till the end of the season, 1,000 yards. Look,
what's way before that? I mean,
I'm not going to put a prediction. I'm not going to put a prediction on it.
1,000 before Thanksgiving. We'll go double or nothing on that.
If I do that, all of a sudden you and Pledge will get together in cahoots and say, well, you said I'm not saying that. I'm saying by the end of the season, 17 weeks is what I've got, although I think it will happen before that. 17 weeks, 1,000 yards for Dalvin Cook.
Okay, question. Just to clarify the beer bet.
All right, what?
He'll have 1,000 yards or 1,000 rushing yards.
Damn, Pledge. What the hell's the matter with you?
1,000 rushing yards.
Oh, okay. Yes, 1,000 rushing yards. Damn it, Pledge.
I just wanted to clarify.
Well,
I know, but
and Pledge, I'm glad you clarified, because all I was thinking was rushing yards, and I don't think Joe is smart enough to think total yards.
Of course I was.
Yeah, sure, but no, it is 1,000 rushing yards, not
Rushing
1,000 yards of total offense.
He may have 1,600 when you combine. I'm talking about when you
Goodness,
combine
is he also going
everything.
to win a Heisman Trophy?
Dude, let me tell you something about this guy. He's in the best shape of his career. He
Yeah.
didn't get to play it. He has no mileage on him. He didn't play much at all last year, and I think he's got something to prove. Dalvin Cook was one of the most exciting running backs in the NFL, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder, and I really believe that he's going to come in and make a difference for this Cowboys football team.
I hope he does. Joe Reinagel, I will tell you this. This is a beer bet. I am hoping to lose. I really
I'm
am
hoping you lose too.
Hoping to lose this beer bet. I don't think I will, but I'm hoping that I lose this one. Now you get a Dalvin Cook in, and the idea that he is reuniting with this former head coach is a big reason why he is in Dallas.
Everything, to be honest. The way I feel about him, I appreciate him for everything, and he accepted me like I was his own when I came into Minnesota, and it's the same way when I got here. So, nothing but hats off to Coach Zim, and I appreciate him.
Yeah, and Zim was a big reason why he's here. He went to Jerry, and they talked about a running back, and they talked about Dalvin Cook. And obviously Zimmer knows him better than anybody else on that Dallas Cowboys football team. So, I think it was a good move. I'm with you. I wish it would have been somebody younger. I wish they would have drafted somebody and groomed them, but they didn't. So I think this is the next best thing, and I really believe this guy's going to run with a chip on his shoulder this year.
Yeah, get that good crunch in there. I'm totally down with that. Now, another guy that seems to have a little chip on his shoulder, a little salty, if you will. Dak Prescott sounded that way yesterday when hearing and being asked about his contract. It's one thing to read quotes. Listen to him. That's why we play him for you, and we will, coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Have you made your weekend plans yet? If not, why don't you think about the Big Blind? It is the premier poker room in San Antonio. There are none better. I'm going to tell you that right now. They don't even come close. Get in there and have some fun while you watch all the football games. They've got TVs all over the place. You don't have a bad seat in the house. It is a perfect time to go out there, watch all the football games tomorrow, play some poker, have some fun, get a drink at their bar, some food there as well. It is fantastic. Look, the Big Blind is one of those places you won't forget. Once you go in there once, you want to go again and again and again. It's from the owners of the Root Pub and the Angry Elephant, and so you know it's going to be good. It's locally owned. It's locally operated. The food and beverage is served directly to your table. That's a great thing. And I mentioned the full bar and the games all over the place. Get down to the Big Blind. Make your plans to do that. In fact, on Friday and Saturday, they have got $200 high hands every 20 minutes. Did you hear that? Every 20 minutes, you have an opportunity to walk away with $200 in your pocket. Get down to the Big Blind. It is a great place, and you know exactly where it is, right down from the Root Pub of the Angry Elephant, there at 281 and Redland Road.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. The weekend is done. Aggies, how you feeling? Texas fan, where you at? We'll talk about it.
And it's NFL Week 1. Cannot wait to dive into that schedule. We'll be here at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, it only takes one bad decision to change your life. And riding after drinking can be one of those. It can lead to impaired reflexes, poor judgment, and then disaster. Think about it. Even one drink affects your ability to ride. Alcohol can limit your reaction time and give you a false sense of confidence. You think it'll never happen to you, but it can. So, if you hit the bottle, don't roll the throttle. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Our Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on Valspar Reserve or HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Infinity or Showcase Interior Paint via Lowe's gift card rebate. Whether you're painting one accent wall or want to freshen up a whole room, we've got you covered. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. Valid through 9/4.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 tests under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first, then buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
The Twin Liquors dollar sale is here. We dropped the price on all wine and spirits to the absolute lowest, then at $1. It's how we say thank you to our customers. Don't miss the dollar sale, now through Saturday, only at Twin Liquors.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And Andrew Monaco will be joining us in about an hour from right now. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at the I-10 Ice House. Great place to go watch football this weekend, whether you want to watch the Longhorns, the Roadrunners, and certainly the Aggies tomorrow night. I-10 Ice House. Go see Joe today. They got a great cheeseburger lunch special.
Boy, no doubt about it. And Shelton and Ryan have already partaken of that. You get a burger out here for $2.08. Throw a piece of cheese on it. It's $2.31. That's with chips, by the way. And domestic beers, $2.08. So you do the math. You come out here, have a great burger and a beer, and, less than $10. I mean, my goodness, it's great. Not to mention, Minix, that's not all we have out here. We got Rangers swag we want to give away. Rangers jerseys, we got bobbleheads. I don't know what else is in that box, but we got all that kind of stuff out here. You just need to get here to the I-10 Ice House. Come see us and say hello and have a burger and a beer.
Well, and that's, go see him, and lots of great prizes to give away, right?
Yes.
That's the key.
Yeah.
And so on a Friday, let me get this straight. Ryan from our digital department left his hole to go out to the I-10 Ice House.
Yes, he did. Can you believe that? He's sitting right over here. He's on the phone. He got his computer like he's working. I don't know. The guy's, I don't know what he's doing over there, but he brought a big box of Rangers swag. So he wants to give that away. So we're going to let him. And, he wants to feel like he's doing something.
Well, that's the key. That's kind of a vet move in trying to do that. That is for sure.
Hey, it's Friday, a long weekend ahead. So why not get started early?
Well, then that's it, man. Get started. That's a great idea,
Jim.
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
Yeah, I knew it was in there somewhere. It would be a great idea, Jerry, if you were to just sign Dak Prescott. Now I got a video up today on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram at SA Sports Star. And I know we have debated and argued about this for months, and I'm with you there. The problem is Jerry doesn't have a plan in place. And when you look at teams that have moved on from their franchise quarterback in recent years, Seattle moved on from Russell Wilson, and seeing how Russell has dropped off, that was obviously a great move, but their bridge quarterback has done what? Now Russell goes to Denver. Now he is starting in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been looking for a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger retired. This will be their fourth or fifth different season opening starting quarterback in the last 4 or 5 years, whatever the numbers are. The Raiders decided, all right, we're moving on from Derek Carr. The Saints moved on from Jameis Winston. And then I think about all those teams had a plan in place. Atlanta had a plan in place after Matt Ryan, but it didn't work. But at least they had a plan. Jerry doesn't even have a plan, which is why I think he is over a barrel. You go back to Chad Hutchinson, Drew Henson, Quincy Carter, Anthony Wright. As a Cowboy fan that says, move on, don't pay him that kind of money, do you really want to go to that kind of plan at quarterback if that's ultimately what it is, if Dak Prescott walks next year?
Now, you can go see that. It's on our Instagram page. Jason's got a video up in there explaining kind of that theory right there. And look, I know what the history is. I know there's been some bad quarterbacks in Dallas. I get all of that. And I think that's part of the reason the Cowboy fans are a little bit scared to take any kind of chances. Look, here's I've evolved a little bit, all right? And just hear me out for a second.
Sure.
I think it is perfectly normal and perfectly okay for Jerry to tell Dak, to look him in the eye, say, you're under contract. You are under contract. Let's go play ball. Let's do some great things this year. And then you and I will sit down. And if we get to where we need to be, Mr. Prescott, guess what? I'm going to write you a check. I'm going to drive the Brinks truck up to your house, and we're going to pay you whatever you want. You play for your next contract this year, and let's go to town. And I think if Jerry does that, if Dak does that, and they all agree on this thing, before Dak can get away, he's got a new contract for the next several years.
Now, that might be good that might be good for Jerry, but if you're Dak Prescott, if you start this year and you get that close to free agency, why would you even give Jerry that opportunity without seeing what else is out there? Because at that point, you would have the opportunity to be a free agent. And listening to Dak Prescott talk yesterday, I kind of look at it and think he says negotiations can continue into the offseason, but he doesn't sound happy about that.
That's up to Todd and those guys. Once again, I'm not going to be a part of them here as the season starts. And they've been going. They've been going obviously heavily through Todd and Steven both. Yeah, it's just all part of it. As I said, my job and my focus now is control what I can. And as I said, back in camp, it's two parts of this. Both sides have to come to the agreement.
You don't need a deal done before the season.
I don't need no.
Would you like it done before the season?
I think it says a lot if it is or if it isn't. But however, doesn't really matter to me, to be honest with you.
What does it say if it isn't?
Just how people feel. Which people? I don't know.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
You're right about that.
And hearing it and reading the quotes are two very different things. I'm you hear it, but you can hear a little bit of the frustration. CD got his. Dak knows, and I think part of it, Dak knows. And, Dak has all the leverage, but Dak hasn't used all of his leverage either. Dak could have held out and really forced the issue. He didn't do that. So, in some ways, if you're Dak Prescott, and I'm just throwing this spaghetti on the wall, but if I'm Dak Prescott or Dak's agent having that conversation with Steven, I'm giving a little because I came to work. I came to training camp on time. I did not hold out. And you know what? I think if you look at it that way, you say, all right, yeah, he is giving a little because he really could be forcing the issue like other players and hold out.
He could be holding out, and maybe that's what he should have done. I mean, Jerry said as much, right? When they asked him about after CD got his deal, why CD and not Dak? Well, because Dak was here. And maybe that makes a difference. Maybe it doesn't. But look, I think Dak Prescott, for all the things that I say about him, the way his play is on the field, especially in the playoffs, Dak Prescott is a good guy. He is a guy that is a team leader. He is a guy that wants to play football. He's a guy that wants to win. All of those things are absolutely true. And Dak knows he's under contract. He's already gotten a big contract. In fact, he's looking for his third contract. If you look at it, his rookie deal, his second deal, and now technically it's his third, which could be the biggest in NFL history. So look, he knows all of this, and he knows his job is to play football. Look, the guy's still making $30 million this year, which is nothing to sneeze at. I think all Jerry's trying to say here, at least as we sit here at this point in time, is play for it. Mike McCarthy's doing that right now. He's making Mike McCarthy play for that extension if that comes to fruition. So Dak Prescott, let's go out and play. Let's see what happens, and we'll talk at the end of the season.
And part of me has no problem with that. It really doesn't. And I look at Dak Prescott's regular season record, and it's outstanding. His playoff record's in the postseason. That's what really matters. We've had enough great regular seasons and playoff failures where you say go prove it. But as a Cowboy fan, not as a Dak Prescott fan, and I know that a lot of you listening to me right now won't hear this clearly, and I'm trying not to blur the line. It's not that I'm in love with Dak Prescott and don't want to see him leave. I don't want to go back to the days of what it was like looking for a quarterback. I don't want to go back to the days of Quincy Carter, who did have one good year and get to the playoffs. I don't want to see a Drew Henson, a Clint Sterner, a Ryan Leaf, all these quote-unquote bridge type of quarterbacks. You look at what Vegas is going through, and Vegas ultimately might end up with Dak Prescott. How funny would that be? But here's a year with Gardner Minshew. Let's see if we can get 6 or 8 regular season wins, but at least we don't have Dak Prescott to be mad at anymore. That's my biggest fear. If the Cowboys had a drafted quarterback in the room ready to go, or a legit backup quarterback that looked like he's a player that could take over at any point. The Chiefs had Alex Smith when they drafted Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes sat for that first year, and they said, Alex, it's been nice. I would love for the Cowboys to be in a situation like that. Sign Dak Prescott, and in the next 2 years, draft his replacement or sign his replacement in free agency.
Well, and that could be the other thing. I mean, is there a length of time that we're looking at? Is that part of the sticking point? There's all kinds of things I don't think that we're privy to as we sit here and talk today. I just think that I don't see that there's anything wrong, and I get where you're coming from, and I know Cowboy fans are scared to death for all the reasons that you just mentioned because, well, Dak's here, and, he's good enough, and we're doing well in the regular season, so we can't mess that up. And try and start over and roll the dice. And I know Cowboy fans are scared. I get it. I understand. But at some point in time, you're going to have to. And however Jerry decides to do that, I think he honestly thought that Trey Lance might be that guy. And that's why he went out and got him. We've seen that Trey Lance is not that guy. He's just not. So is Dak the future? I think let him play this year. Let's go. Let's see what happens, and then we'll talk once the season's over. And I think if Jerry said that to him, Dak's not afraid to bet on himself.
No.
If Jerry said that to him, say, hey, well, we're going to talk hopefully when the season ends in mid-February, after we finish winning the Super Bowl. Then we'll talk. We'll have a party. I'll have my checkbook out, and we will have no problems.
But at that point, does Dak Prescott say, you know what, Jerry, you're right? Think about all of these guys. If they can become a free agent and you can go and you can negotiate, and 2, 3, 4 teams, and I don't think there'd be more than that, but 2, 3, 4 teams, now you have a bidding war, and who knows what that is. And I look at if you're Dak Prescott and you kind of listen to what he just said, and I know you'll laugh, and you always have that schneid, about feeling respected and loved. All these guys want to feel loved. I mean, that's and everybody that works, you like your paycheck every 2 weeks, but it's nice to get an attaboy from the boss, and you get a raise. And we all know people who have gotten mad because they didn't get a raise and they quit their job. Well, if Dak were to quit his job with the Dallas Cowboys, he can make more somewhere else. And at 31 years old, he would become probably the biggest free agent to hit the open market. I mean, the Cowboys, I would hope, if this is Dak Prescott's last year, that Dak would allow Jerry to work a trade kind of like Aaron Rodgers did with the New York Jets, where Aaron still controlled where he went, but the Packers got something in return, because that's the other thing. If Jerry were to let Dak test free agency and he just signs with another team, not only are you not getting any playoff success out of that investment, you're not getting anything in return from his new home.
So let me ask you a question, and a legit question, and I want your opinion. All right, we go through the season, Jerry has in play, and the Cowboys either don't make the playoffs or they get beat in the first round again. Is Dak Prescott still your guy, Jason Minix?
Yes, because
Wow.
He is, because he's still, now granted, how bad is it? I mean, I've seen this movie before, but what is the alternative? What is the alternative? And that's what I look at. If we start hearing that the Cowboys are working on a trade for so-and-so, are they, but you look at this upcoming draft, where are the Cowboys going to be in the draft? Are they really going to trade up to try to get that quarterback? The Cowboys historically haven't done that. In fact, the Cowboys historically haven't drafted well at the quarterback position. The last one they took in the draft in the first round was, Troy Aikman, when they had the number 1 overall pick. And that was Jimmy Johnson. You know what I mean? So when I look at that, I also don't have a lot of confidence that the Cowboys are going to draft the right guy.
Well, nobody knows they're going to draft the right guy, right? I mean, and we've talked about this. A lot of first-round guys have turned into busts. A lot of the better quarterbacks typically are your 3rd, 4th, 5th-round picks. I mean, historically, when you look at that, it's just a fact. But nobody ever knows if they've got the right guy. You draft a guy hoping he's the right guy, but you don't know that. Nobody knew Dak Prescott was going to be Dak Prescott. So that's an unfair hill for the Cowboys to climb, saying they're going to draft the right guy. Well, maybe they will, maybe they won't, but there's no guarantees when that happens.
Well, no, and you look at, all these teams that have drafted and it hasn't worked out. That's why I say, you ask me right now on the 30th day of August, is Dak still my guy next year? The answer is yes, because I don't know what my other options are. And my other options are likely not going to be better than what I have with Dak Prescott. Am I willing to roll the dice that Dak Prescott at some point is going to get it together when it matters? And it's not just Dak, it's everybody. Everybody last year against Green Bay was awful, Dak included. How do they fix that? Is that coaching? Is Mike Zimmer's influence? Although it's not like he had a lot of playoff success in Minnesota. I still want the Cowboys to at least have a chance, and Dak Prescott gives the Cowboys a chance. You look at some of these other guys, damn well you don't have a chance. Look around the league this year. How many fan bases are thinking, well, Let's play for a good draft position next year. Your team isn't going to be good. Maybe you're going to fight and scratch to get into the playoffs, but damn well you don't have a Super Bowl caliber team or even a chance to make a playoff run if everything breaks right.
I bet the Houston Texans thought that last year too. Well, if we win 5-6 games, we'll be happy. And then look what they did. You never know how an NFL season's going to turn out or what's going to happen. I'm sure the Carolina Panthers didn't think that Bryce Young would be the way that he's been. Look, it's such great reality TV, the NFL, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what twists and turns you're going to have to face. I just think, look, at some point, and to your point, you draft the right guy. Even if they re-sign Dak and draft the guy, doesn't mean he's the right guy. Eventually, you're going to have to find that replacement. And whether you keep Dak or not, you're going to have to find him. And you're going to have to draft guys hoping they're the right guy. So you got to roll the dice at some point in time and rebuild when that time comes, whether it's next year or 4 years from now. But you got to roll the dice. Every team does it. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't.
It is the Blitz live at the I-10 Ice House. Go hang out with Joe Reinagel on this Friday afternoon. Take advantage of that great cheeseburger and beer special and get in and watch the games this weekend. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, will join us coming up at 3:35. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need caps made, man, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom right now, just waiting for your logo. And he's got all the big cap brands like Katie Caps, the Richardson 112 style, Trucker Caps, Nike, Pacific Cap America, to name a few. He's got all the big shirt name brands as well, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. So if you need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, go see Sam. You need T-shirts screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices, and Sam is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. No order too big, certainly no order too small. You need one item, a dozen items, 25,000 items. Sam will get you taken care of. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots right there across from the McDonald's, or go to the website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
After a total renovation of their greens, Olympia Hills invites you to their grand relaunch event the weekend of September 13th. Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that's been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Follow on social media for updates and witness the transformation of your favorite course. Discover premier golfing in Bexar County with the grand relaunch the weekend of September 13th. Book your tee time now at olympiahillsgolf.com. How about them Cowboys? Jim Beam bringing fans together across Cowboys country. We rise as one in Texas in handed down silver and blue jerseys. We come together for America's team every time they take the field. So let's share a round of Jim Beam highballs on game day in Cowboys country. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2024 James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
Ulta Beauty's 21 Days of Beauty event is back. From now until September 19th, score over 200 daily beauty steals at 50% off in every category. And check Ulta.com daily to get them all before they're gone. Take 50% off bestsellers from brands like Estee Lauder and Supergoop. Plus, say hello to new finds from brands like Dyson and Sol de Janeiro. And Ilia is now at Ulta Beauty in select stores and online. Shop in-store at Ulta.com or try pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply while supplies last.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, we've got some news from Adam Schefter right now. The LA Chargers have reached an agreement with their kicker, Cameron Dicker, the kicker. 4-year extension, $22 million. It includes $12.5 million guaranteed. By the way, Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey is up for an extension next year. Add him to the list. UTSA opens up the season at home tomorrow against Kennesaw State. Orange out in the Dome, kickoff at 2:30.
Joe Reinagel.
For the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Reinagel hanging out at the I-10 Ice House.
Yes, sir, and great place to hang out. I'll tell you what, I'm watching people eat the cheeseburger for $2.5. What is it, $2.31?
Yep.
You get chips. Beer out here is about the same price, so you can come out here, cheeseburger, beer, and it's a great place. I was told, though, Minix, and you'll appreciate this, that the I-10 Ice House is Aggie-owned, but they're Longhorn friendly. Have you ever heard of that? You get
Absolutely.
that? How about that?
Yeah, you know what that tells me?
What does that tell you?
He's Aggie-owned, and he loves money. And he knows Longhorn fans are going to be there at 2:30. Roadrunner fans are going to be there at 2:30 watching that game. Aggie fans are going to show up at 6:30 to watch that game.
Yeah, all the Aggie games, in fact, are here. All football games are here. They've even got the Canelo fight coming up on September the 14th. They'll have that right here as well. So any kind of sporting event you can think of, you can watch it here at the I-10 Ice House. In fact, come out and check this place out if you've never been here before. It's a great place. Some people are starting to show up. They're starting their Labor Day weekend early, Jason. I know you can't do that. You got a long day ahead of you, but come about 6:01, my friend. I'm going to be joining all these folks here with a nice cold beer.
Yeah, about 6:01, I'll be hunting a Frito pie here at Hero Stadium as we get ready to kick off our high school game of the week. Tonight we got Johnson against Judson here at Hero Stadium. High school football energized by Hill Electric, Frostbank, and NCE General Contractors, to name a few. And I tell you what a great matchup to kick off the season. The Jaguars and the Rockets. It's going to be a fun game tonight here at Heroes Stadium. Right now, though, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Got to get back to my notes.
Yeah, you do.
The SEC is adding football injury reports, and there's one reason why they are doing that.
Well, the same reason the NFL does it, for the gamblers. It's
Yes,
exactly
sir.
why they do it. This was they've been talking about that for a long time, Jace. I say a long time. Since the summer, maybe a little bit before, about doing that, and they finally pulled the trigger on it and said we're going to do that. So injury reports are coming for the SEC, and I have to believe the other conferences aren't far behind.
Yeah, it's gambling. Look, all these colleges trying to raise money, they're not dumb. All the pro leagues already have sponsorship deals with all the different companies. Colleges aren't far behind. They've got to do that. So I'm not surprised that the SEC is adding injury reports for football. And there's only one reason why that's going to happen. Pro Football Talk has an idea of how to fix the Tom Brady situation as he's trying to become an owner, because I think they realize Tom Brady, and we talked about this some yesterday, if you need a brief refresher, he is trying to buy the Raiders, a percentage of the Raiders, not buy the Raiders, but buy into the Raiders.
Minority? Yeah.
Yes, but if you have ownership stake in any team, there are a lot of rules. And as a broadcaster, you aren't able to do your job based on those rules, because you're not allowed to meet with other players. You're not allowed to meet with other coaches. You're not allowed to go to certain parts of their facility. Well, all those things are kind of necessary to do your job as a broadcaster. And this all comes to light a couple of days before the start of the season, which I'm hoping that what's the word? I'm hoping that, they all kind of knew this, and it wasn't just, oh, yeah, somebody from legal called and said, Tom, you can't go to a production meeting with the Cowboys or the Browns this week. But Pro Football Talk has an interesting idea. I don't know if it'll work, but it's an interesting idea.
I think it's a great idea if they want to do it. Look, I think Tom Brady should make a decision one way or the other is what I think. And I don't think he's a part of that ownership group yet. So for this game coming up, I'm assuming he can talk to everybody that he wants to. Having said that, Pro Football Talk is saying, why not have a three-man booth? And have three guys in there. So Brady's in there, but it's the third guy who can go and get all the information and talk to the other players. Greg Olson's name was brought up. Why not have Brady and Olson along with who is it? Tom Brenneman, I believe.
No, it's Kevin Burkhardt.
Kevin Burkhardt, forgive me. Yeah, you're right. So have those three guys in there, and that solves that problem. And it's a good idea if Brady's going to continue on in this. But look, I got to believe that Fox has got to put their foot down. They're paying this dude $375 million, and you tell me he can't do his job? Come on.
Well, I mean, it's Tom Brady for one, and so he's going to play by a different set of rules. But at the same time, those rules would prevent him from working for Fox, but I don't know that Fox is going to make him say, dude, you can't buy the Raiders. I'm not sure where this is going to go. I don't know if the idea of a three-man booth, when you've got two powerful personalities in there, like Tom Brady and Greg Olson, how they would make it work. And I think it would actually hurt Tom Brady, because Greg Olson is so damn good that that Tom Brady is still trying to figure things out. So either Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson, who have worked together since Joe Buck and Troy Aikman went to ESPN in that number one booth, would they allow Tom Brady enough time to be able to get everything in? A three-man booth is extremely difficult. I mean, obviously, Monday Night Football years ago tried to do that with Booger and with Jason Witten, and they ended up putting Booger outside on a tractor. That didn't work. It's hard to do a three-man booth. But with those two guys, I mean, and Greg Olson, I mean, yeah, it's like you're the number one guy and you get replaced by a guy you're not sure they could do it. But then if you got two number ones in one booth, does that mess up the rest of their broadcast groups? I mean, a guy Moose Johnston would move up the ladder, that's for sure.
I just don't see that happening. I'm with you. A three-man booth hasn't worked since Howard Cosell and Frank Gifford and Don Meredith did it. And I mean, that was fun back in the original Monday Night Football broadcast group. But I just don't think it's going to work. But I tell you what, Jason, if they instead of Greg Olson, they want to throw me in there, I'll just stand there and shut up, and Brady can talk all he wants.
You say that now, but Lord knows you don't know how to shut up. So that's not going to work. I don't care how much money they're going to pay you unless you unplug your microphone.
Well, that's a good
you're
point,
not going to shut up. I mean,
because Brady will say something stupid. It's what I have to deal with every day. So
exactly,
I'd have to say something.
You would. And the other part, the last three-man booth that I can think of that was worth anything. And this is telling you how bad it was when Steve Levy was doing Monday Night Football with Louis Riddick and was it Brian Greasy?
I believe it was, yeah.
And they weren't bad at calling games. They just weren't dynamic. It wasn't overly interesting. I know we've done some high school football with some three-man booths, and, it's difficult, especially when Coach Danny Close is involved, because you talk about carrying weight and not knowing when to shut up. And that's a big part of this stuff.
I'm surprised you were able to call a play with Close in there. I mean, that's impressive. Yeah, that's
the yawn off button on the microphone. I don't know what this says about us, football or whatever, but preseason TV ratings were slightly up this preseason.
Well, I think people are hungry for football, and it just, again, goes to show you that the NFL is king. People are hungry for it. They're ready for the NFL season, even preseason football. When I saw that story, I was like, I was more interested in the preseason this year, especially the Cowboys, obviously, because I wanted to see what they had in Trey Lance. But I was just more interested overall in the preseason. So for whatever that's worth, I guess I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, well, and is it a byproduct of regular television has just been so bad? The way we binge watch TV now, there is no appointment television, so you could watch games and not worry about whatever else is there. And I think the curiosity level is there. I mean, our TV viewing habits have changed so much that, the one communal thing that's left is sports, and preseason football is better than no football at all. I have to admit, I watched more preseason football this year than I remember watching in years past.
Yeah,
and maybe because there's
absolutely.
only 3 games too.
Yeah, I think that makes a big difference. And soon, hopefully, there will only be 2, and that will be even better than that. So the NFL just continues to grow, man. They're a beast.
Yeah, interesting headline, Ryan Eagle.
Thought you'd like that one.
A couple in Philadelphia. They accidentally drove their Range Rover into a river because they were getting busy in the back seat.
I just want, who the hell was driving? If they're in the back seat getting it on, who the hell's driving? Is it one of those driverless cars?
Well, it's a Range Rover, so no. And unless they had a driver who was very distracted looking in the mirror, it would be one thing if you were driving down the road and the guy's driving and other things are happening, but in the back seat, were they actually driving, or did somehow a foot knock that car out of park?
That's a good question. I didn't see that in the article that I read.
There weren't enough details. They not got questions.
I do too. Either way, I mean, I'm not mad at them. I think it's a great thing if you want to do that, but you might want to pull over and in a Walmart parking lot or something and take care of it and get on your way.
A Walmart parking lot?
Well, or somewhere. Yeah, why
where
not?
Prices aren't the only thing falling. I mean, where are you going with that?
What are you talking about? What else is falling? Panties?
Hey. I mean, but I mean, honestly, I mean, if they were parked down by the river, you got a nice romantic setting, and then all of a sudden, your Range Rover's in the river.
That's boy, that would kind of kill the mood, wouldn't it? Wow.
I just hope that couple was married to each other, because the explaining that they would have to be doing to their spouse.
There's no explaining that.
How'd the Range Rover get into the river? Well, you see, dear. Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. That's bad all the way around.
No question, man.
Man, that's just brutal. Hey, next Thursday night out at the Techport Center, the boys from Nothing More are going to be playing a big show out at the Boeing Center at Techport. Tickets are available at livenation.com. Nothing More is a great San Antonio-based band. They're national now. They're a big-time band. That's going to be a hell of a show next Thursday night. Go support the hometown show for Nothing More. Get your tickets at livenation.com, or if you are caller number 11 right now, you're going to win a pair of tickets. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 11, you're going to go see Nothing More next Thursday night at the Techport Center. Let's talk some college football coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio Sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights, open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Can you dig it? Come into any Ewald Kubota dealer and dig the savings on the full line of Kubota excavators, like 0%, 0 down for 48 months. Plus, save up to $10,000 off. Come see us. Kubota deals are here. Kubota deals are now.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
941 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pregame at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Ryan-Eagle. I'm Jason Minix. Maybe you're watching on YouTube at the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Just go there, search it. Ryan-Eagle's over at the I-10 Ice House. Go hang out with Joe on this Friday afternoon. Get your weekend started. They got a great beer and a burger special. But I got to tell you, Joe, I just saw something that I've never seen before here at Hero Stadium. And I don't even really know how to describe what I just saw in great detail because I am not a bird expert. But no, seriously. And whatever I must have been saying watching it, Pledge was like, I am glad the microphones are off. What's going on out there? Because he thought I might be getting attacked by something. Not me, but so I'm in the press box. So we're at the top of Hero Stadium. There is a pole right over here, and there is a bird on it, a kind of a small bird. I don't know what kind, but, a bird, right? Not a big bird, but just a small bird, and it's just sitting there. And out of nowhere, and it's eye level with me flying by. I don't know what kind of bird it was either, hawk or whatever. Beautiful bird, right? And it goes down, and it starts chasing the little bird that was just sitting over there. It saw lunch and went to go get it. And then that bird, it tried. It tried to fly away. I don't think it got away because it got out of my view, but I was trying to watch it because it was like something out of National Geographic. I didn't know birds ate other birds like that.
Well, yeah, of course they do.
Wow.
But you didn't actually see the capture and kill?
No, I can't say that I did. I saw the big bird, which was just beautiful. And when it flies eye level with you, I'm going to say it looked, I don't know, like a Piper plane. I mean, it was just like this small jet that was going by.
Wait a minute, big birds out there with you?
Yes, it was big bird. No, I don't know. I mean, do we have hawks in this area? It was something like that, right?
Yes.
I mean, it was massive, and it had its talons out, and it went after this bird. And at first swoop, it didn't catch it because you see the little bird start, like it's trying to get away. And it wasn't gaining any kind of lead. It was going to lose the race. But the race ended outside of where I could actually see here in the press box.
Dude, nature is brutal. I don't know how it happened. And I must have clicked on this reel one time. But and now they come up all the time. It's like lions chasing antelopes and animals, and they kill them, and it's like brutal. It's brutal. And I don't want to watch this, but I'm watching it.
Well,
and
that's it. Now, again, seeing a bird up this level is one thing. You see those all the time, just normal-looking birds. Not a hawk or whatever it was, right? I don't know what it was. It wasn't an ugly vulture. It was a beautiful bird. It just, but, because I saw it flying on the other side going, I don't normally see those. And then it was just coming in for the kill, man. It was a bird on the mission.
Wow.
And, and I didn't even know that other bird was over there, but I was watching the hawk, seeing where it was going, and it was looking for lunch.
Wow.
I mean, it should just go over to the I-10 Ice House and get a cheeseburger for $2.31 because that'd be a lot easier than catching a bird. But RIP to the little bird to my right.
Well, that's too bad. But I mean, nature is such that hawk had to eat. And you're right. He should have come here to I-10 Ice House. Dude, when's the last time you went someplace and could get a hamburger for $2.08 or a cheeseburger for $2.31?
I can't tell you the last time.
Or a domestic beer for $2.08. That's nuts.
It is nuts. That is nuts.
Well, you can do that if you head over here to the I-10 Ice House right now.
It kind of reminds you of your college days where you could go out with a $20 bill and have a really good night.
Yes, you could. Dude, we used to have nickel pitchers on Monday night in San Marcos. Nickel pitchers. Now, it was old Milwaukee, but it was beer for a nickel.
After 15 cents, did it matter what was in those pitchers?
It made no difference. No,
made no difference. Hell, it didn't matter after a nickel. But back then, I mean, when you went to college, nickel was a lot of money. You could probably fill up your whole gas tank for a couple of those, right?
You're exactly right. It was. Yeah, I could go to the movies and get popcorn for that. I mean, it was great. Those were the days.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I could fill up my car for $10. Oh, back in my day, Joe Reinagle. Oh,
That's
night
right.
with the beast. Yeah. Yes. That's what it boils down
my
to.
Friend. Those were the days.
We'll talk Aggie football coming up in about 10 minutes. The great Andrew Monaco will start his weekly visits with us here as we get ready for Aggie football. Great football yesterday, and I say great. We had some good competitive games. Sure, you had a lot of blowouts last night, but for the most part, there were some good matchups, which, we all get so excited every year for college football, but for the most part, the early part of the season, you got a bunch of dogs. I mean, just some ugly games. And I'm glad the powers that be and TV people said, we have to have some compelling matchups. And last night's game on ESPN certainly lived up to the billing with Colorado against North Dakota State. It wasn't a blowout, and I think most people that follow football understand anything Dakota is. And Colorado certainly knew that, but we had a good competitive game. Colorado ended up winning. They didn't cover, but they ended up winning the game. And you saw an incredible performance out of Travis Hunter. Shedeur Sanders looking every bit like, yes, he's going to be a legit NFL quarterback. But overall, it was a good football game, which is all you can ask for as a fan. I just want to watch good competitive football.
Absolutely. And for you, it turned out pretty good from what I understand. So in that case, it makes it that much better. The only thing everybody's talking about today, Jason, and I didn't actually see this live, but I have seen the highlights. Well, with about a minute and change remaining, Colorado's got the ball. All they have to do is run out the clock, win the game. And Sanders throws a deep ball. And his explanation was, well, I was just trying to, or Deion's explanation, well, he was just trying to help out his buddy. But Deion said, don't do that again. And so that's the only knock on Shedeur last night was that he was trying to throw the deep ball when they're trying to run out the clock. But other than that, Colorado gets it done.
All right. I hear that, and that's on the coach. That is on Deion Sanders. You can say what you want about the quarterback. That is on the coach. And football IQ, all you have to do is run the ball there, and the game is over. You don't punt it back and give North Dakota State a chance. Now, after that, because there's a 2-minute warning now in college football.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you remember that was going to be a thing.
I did not.
I did not. So that gave North Dakota State an extra timeout. Football IQ. If they run the ball on first down, instead of trying to cover the spread or whatever it is they were trying to do there with that deep ball, and they don't throw it incomplete and stop the clock, that game ends. North Dakota State got the ball back on the 8-yard line, and with no timeouts, had a chance. They threw a Hail Mary pass that was actually caught, but at the 5-yard line. Kid didn't have the arm strength to get it into the end zone. But Colorado was that close to one of the more embarrassing losses in college football because they had that game won. Shedeur, maybe he's covering for his dad, but that to me is on the head coach, not the quarterback, unless Deion came out and said, you know what, I told him to run the ball, and he did that on his own, and he's going to be disciplined. And I didn't hear that if that was said.
No, he just said he's a nice guy. Look, I think, and my theory is, and I don't disagree with the coach there, but I think Shedeur may be trying to pad his stats a little bit. You know, he says trying to get this guy the ball, but I mean, you know, you pad your stats a little bit. You mentioned covering the spread. All of that could be possible. It was just a mistake that could have cost him the game. There's no doubt.
It's and again, the way North Dakota played in that first half, and Colorado cleaned it up in the second half, but that was a football game. You know, the North Carolina game was a football game. There were some good ones last night. There's going to be some really good ones tomorrow. Headlined by Texas A&M playing host to Notre Dame. The voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And, oh, by the way, the Aggies are a 3-point favorite at home. I know that because I use BetUS. And BetUS tells me that the Aggies are a 3-point favorite against Notre Dame at home tomorrow. Look, you need to go to BetUS. I do. That's where I play. That's where I get in on the action of all the games. It is a lot of fun. It's easy to do. Check out BetUS. In fact, they went large for you this season. Got a huge offer. 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. You heard me right. 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Hey, and BetUS offers value that other sportsbooks simply don't offer, like gambler's insurance, crypto bonuses, casino bonuses. Plus, they've got all the products you need and the products you want. Competitive odds, parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and prop betting. They've even got their own TV station. It's called BetUS TV, and they'll offer predictions and analysis and all that kind of stuff. It is just a great place. Again, it's where I go. It's where you should go. So get started today at BetUS.com, or you can give them a call at 1-800-MY-BET-US. BetUS, that's where the game begins.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. The weekend is done. Aggies, how you feeling? Texas fan, where you at? We'll talk about it.
And it's NFL Week 1. Cannot wait to dive. We'll be here at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Attention Roadrunner fans, get ready for an electrifying season of UTSA football. Season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $90. That's right, for only $90 you can catch all the action, all the touchdowns, and all the excitement at the Alamo Dome. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join the fun as we cheer on our UTSA Roadrunners to victory. Don't miss out on the best deal in town. Get your season tickets today and be a part of the Roadrunner family. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football, it's more than a game, it's an experience. Go Runners!
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
participating U.S. Wendy's.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Hi, this is Congressman Joaquin Castro. Here in Military City, USA, we're proud to stand by our veterans. Every year, my office is honored to help San Antonio veterans and military families with delayed benefits, claims, and service questions. Just know that if you need a hand, we're here for you. Call 210-348-8216 or visit castro.house.gov/help to learn more. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
What's up, guys? Johnny Manziel here. As you guys know, college football season is right around the corner, and with that, game day is coming to College Station, Texas, and I'm very excited to announce that I will be the celebrity guest picker on Saturday at 9 Eastern Time. Aggie Land, we need you guys loud and crazy as we have Notre Dame coming to town. Really looking forward to it, checking something off the bucket list this week. Can't wait.
Yeah, the eyes of the college football world on College Station. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reiniger live out at the I-10 Ice House. I'm Jason Minix, and let's talk about Aggie football with the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Andrew, what's the buzz like around Kyle Field on this Friday afternoon? Andrew?
I got you. There you go.
Yeah, there
for some reason, when it clicked over, I lost you for just a second.
Well, technology.
Are you there?
Until it's not. Yeah, we're here. Can you hear us all right?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Pledge, let me know when you can reconnect with Andrew Monaco, and we'll try to have a solid conversation. There's Aggie jokes that can go all over that.
Yes.
Is there not? But again, the excitement level for this game, game day in College Station, the guest picker, it's going to be an incredible atmosphere all day tailgating, a nighttime game against Notre Dame. Dude, I am so ready to leave the UTSA game and get to wherever I'm going to watch the Aggies play on Saturday night.
That I cannot wait to watch some college football tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this. But this game, Notre Dame and Texas A&M, one of those games that you kick off the season with that just gets you excited and pumped, and you want to see where both teams are, especially Texas A&M under new head coach Mike Elco. It's going to be a lot of fun, Jason.
And when we do get connected with Andrew Monaco, that's going to be one of the questions I have for Andrew is, Mike Elko, much more of a disciplinarian than, say, Jimbo Fisher was. The fundamentals of football. We know the talent is there. Jimbo had the talent, but that was a team that did lack discipline, and lacked discipline, especially on the defensive side, when Elko left to become the head coach at Duke. So does that discipline return? How quickly is he able to fix some of the issues that were at A&M? We know they're not deprived of talent, but between the ears, they struggled a little bit under Jimbo. Can Mike Elko get that fixed?
Well, I think he can. The problem is, can he get it fixed this quickly? And that's going to be the question. And I think he's going up against his former quarterback that he had at Duke. That's going to be interesting to see. Just one of those matchups. How's he going to how's that going to play? Because from what I understand, and all transparency, I've never seen this kid play, but the Notre Dame quarterback is he's legit. From everything that I've seen, he's the real deal. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play, and obviously he's going to be an issue for the Aggies.
Well, and I look at he was a great quarterback at Duke, and if you watch Duke play, and I remember last year's season opener sitting over at my buddy Lumpy's place and in his pool watching the game, and I lost $100 because there was no way I was betting on Duke, and he was taking Duke because of Elco and that quarterback. And I didn't know anything about him, and it cost me $100 damn. So I've seen him play, but Elco knows him well too. And now you look at that quarterback, Riley, with the talent at Notre Dame versus the talent that he had at Duke. How much better is he going to be? Because I do think you have two decent quarterbacks in this game with a lot of talent around them. And I'm honestly a little surprised that A&M is a 3-point favorite.
Well, I'm shocked, but that just goes to show you that what it means playing at Kyle Field. I've said this for years, Jason, and truth be told, I haven't been in person to all of them, but College Station, Kyle Field may be the best college football atmosphere that I have ever been around. It is just nuts when they fill that place up, all the traditions that the Aggies have. I've never been to any place better in my career than Kyle Field.
Yeah, I've said that as a Longhorn fan. Longhorn games are fun, but nothing quite like going to a game in College Station. And so when you look at this game and with game day there, Johnny Manziel is the guest picker, which is going to be a lot of fun. Just the entire atmosphere surrounding this game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, A&M 24-20 and they cover that line. Honestly, I don't know that I'd be surprised if Notre Dame were to win that game by the same score. I do expect it to be close. I do expect this to be a one-score game on Saturday night. I'd be surprised if either team blew the other one out.
I just love the fact that we're starting out with something like this. And there's a couple of these games. Obviously, the Aggies in Notre Dame. You got Miami and Florida, which is going to be a great game to kick off the season. USC, LSU on Sunday in Las Vegas. That's going to be another dandy, as they would say. And so some good matchups in the college football world, which is sometimes unusual for week one. But, man, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, there's a lot of bad matchups too.
Yes, there are.
I mean, there are a lot of those games, and quite frankly, I'm hoping one of those are in San Antonio with UTSA. Their orange out game against Kennesaw State, and I know some people have said, "Well, I don't know who they are. I don't know if I want to go." As we were talking with Lisa Campos yesterday, buy your tickets, go to the game. I don't think it will be long before they are in the Big 12. When Lisa Campos said yesterday, a recent study showed that financially, teams aren't that far off in the Big 12 from. I read into that it won't be long before the Big 12 is looking to expand and UTSA could jump in there. Now, we didn't go into the weeds on this because I know the Big 12 is trying to become a basketball conference. And right. but they don't apparently want UConn because UConn sucks at football, even though they're great at basketball. UTSA's basketball has to get better. And good Lord, the Convocation Center is nowhere near capable of being Big 12 ready. But if they are going, I imagine there will be a lot of talk about getting a new building for basketball if UTSA were going into the Big 12, which I still think is a couple years down the road. But when she said that yesterday, I was thinking, the goal financially would be massive. And with what she said, the answer is no. It's very realistic that could happen.
No, there's no question about it, and it should at some point in time. I don't want to move too fast if I'm UTSA, and I think Lisa is smart enough to realize that. You got to take your baby steps and not move really quickly because they have. I mean, let's face it. UTSA has climbed up the ladder extremely quickly. But jumping into the Big 12, to me, that's a whole nother ball game. So I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. But I mean, you're absolutely right, and everybody knows this, including everybody at UTSA. The Convocation Center should have been blown up about 20 years ago, and it should have started over then. But yeah, they got a lot of work to do before all of that happens, for sure.
Well, and so you look at UTSA Orange Out game, do the park and ride, because downtown with that anime festival that's going on is going to be crazy. But go support the Roadrunners. Orange Out. I've got to find an orange shirt, or wear a blue shirt.
No, you can't wear a blue shirt. It's an orange out. It's not a blue out.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, because I am lacking in orange shirts, bright orange shirts. I won't wear a burnt orange shirt to a UTSA game. I have a Sam Houston State orange shirt.
No.
Okay.
I've got an orange shirt you can wear. How about that?
I've got a Wheaties shirt with David Robinson on it when he was on the cover of that years and years and years ago. I haven't worn it in years, but it's one of those kind of shirts I won't throw away. Could probably make some money with this thing off of eBay. Can I wear that orange shirt? I do have an orange shirt. I forget who got it for me last year for the Orange Out game, but it was a lightweight half zip. But I don't know that I want to wear a half zip.
Well, it's cold in the dome, Minix. Come on.
Still, and now I could pull the sleeves up, but still, that's the only orange UTSA that I have. And knowing that I probably will never wear it again, I'm not going to go buy an orange UTSA shirt. I've got blue and I've got black.
You think this is the last orange out they're going to have? You got to have one at the ready for every orange out. I mean, so you might as well pony up some cash, go get you a nice UTSA shirt that's orange, and have it in the closet ready to go.
Huh. You've got one, huh?
I've got two of them, actually, that are orange, because I am a UTSA fan. So, of course, I have an orange shirt.
Are you going to wear that next Saturday up to San Marcos?
Sure. Yes.
Liar.
Man. Can I want to be like the guy yesterday with the Walter Payton shirt that had half blue and half white.
Yep.
Can I do that?
No. No. Well, and this is next Friday's topic is, what are you going to be wearing to that game? You know, you went to Texas State and your daughter went to UTSA. Let's talk about Aggies and Notre Dame now. I think we figured out phone connections with Andrew Monaco on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Andrew, can you hear us now?
You've never sounded better.
Boy, you lie well too. Wow, yeah. that is
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Apologies for the technical issues.
Not a problem. They're called incompletions. It's second down. That's all it is.
Here we go. What's the energy level like right now in College Station?
You know, we were thinking about this. It is high. It is high. You have a game like this that you know is on the future schedule, right? Wow, there's going to be a home and home with Notre Dame in 24 and 25. Well, guess what? It's here. So it's not in the future any longer. And then to have the convergence of, let's start a new era, the Mike Elco era on this first game. And let's slide in a storyline of Notre Dame's quarterback was Mike's quarterback at Duke. And let's add a little more of a storyline that before Mike came to Texas A&M to be defensive coordinator, he was the DC at Notre Dame. There's a lot of excitement for this. This is similar to, I think, a marquee SEC game. I'm thinking the last time it's been this exciting for a non-conference, I would dare say Clemson when they were here, Jimbo's second game. But for an opener, I would say 2016 against UCLA.
You know, Andrew, what's interesting to me is Mike Elko, rookie head coach, at least there at Texas A&M, and having to start out with this kind of a big-time game against an opponent, obviously that's big time. And he kind of knows what he has, but until they hit the field, does he really? What is he saying about this game?
Yeah, the game one, Joe, is you don't know the tendencies for either team. Like if you're going up against Notre Dame, you can look at tape for 10 weeks if you're playing them in week 11, right? But in week 1, you not only have to look at what Marcus Freeman has done with Notre Dame in the past, but you have to look and see what Riley Leonard did at Duke, what Bo Collins, their wide receiver, did at Clemson, another wide receiver at FAU. Oh, hold on a second. Then there's Mike Denbrock and what he did at LSU because he's the new offensive coordinator. About the only thing that that's kind of the same is Al Golden's defense for Notre Dame. But even they brought in a couple of new players there. There's so much. Week 1 is the most adjustments you have to make. And that's one thing that Mike said. The team that makes the adjustments throughout the 60 minutes tomorrow night is going to have the upper hand on the other team.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, joining us here on the Blitz. During your coaches show this week with Mike Elco over at the Rudy's there in College Station, or in your conversations with him leading up to, what has he said about how tough it is going against a Riley Leonard? Because obviously he knows him well, and you know how players have relationships with their coaches and vice versa. But also, because he knows his quarterback well, it might be a tough 3 hours for him on the field on Saturday because you want to beat the hell out of that guy. But at the same time, you do know his tendencies, but he's got a lot better talent around him at Notre Dame than he did while he was at Duke.
Yeah, for 364 days and 21 hours, Mike Elko is a huge Riley Leonard fan. Those 3 hours tomorrow, you're right. It's time to beat the hell out of that Notre Dame quarterback. Mike actually turned it around this week, Jason, which I thought was really interesting. He said, oh, well, Mike knows the tendencies of Riley Leonard. And Coach said, you know what? Riley Leonard's gone up against my defense, if you will. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, for 2 years at Duke. He might actually know the tendencies a little bit better of what a Mike Elko, Jay Bateman, who's the DC type of defense. Now, here's the difference. It's not the Duke defense. It's the Texas A&M defense. And Mike is excited about this defense. It's of the 3 aspects, it's probably the one that has not so much the most experience, although you have guys coming back. He's very excited about what he has from the defensive line, shoring up that back end. It's probably a little more settled than the offense. We're still going to learn about that. And there's going to be some exciting stuff on special teams. Kicker Randy Bond comes back, but with Anaya Smith gone and Reuben Owens being down, that's 2 return guys that are new. But I thought Mike made it really interesting. He said Riley may know a little bit more tendencies going up against my defense for the last 2 years. I think it's another one of those absolutely intriguing matchups for tomorrow nights.
I can't wait for the game, Andrew. Obviously, I'm excited about it. That's for sure. Now, we're talking a lot about Riley Leonard. What about Connor Wegman? What kind of a jump do you expect this young man to make from last year to this year?
Huge, Joe. I really do. And I think it's the one thing that he's flat out embraced is, having the entire offseason. And I know he was rehabbing from that injury. There was no rush for him. I know everybody wanted to see him in the spring, but you know what? That spring game doesn't count. And that's about as mean as I can be. And plus with a new head coach, look, he stayed. That was big. And now that he has stayed, he's had this entire offseason to be with not just Noah Thomas, a wide receiver and Ja'Day Walker, who he had last year, Moose Muhammad, but some of the new wide receivers as well. Cyrus Allen comes from Louisiana Tech. He's got Jacob Bostic, who comes from Iowa. He's got those weapons. But more than anything, Joe, what stands out is that Connor Wegman has embraced the leadership role. Now, was it because he had gotten injured and he kind of isolated or insulated? It's hard to watch when you want to be the guy. And now he was very supportive of Max Johnson and Jalen Henderson and even Marcel Reed last year. But he knows, look, we're going to compete. He flat out won the job. He's number one. I think, Joe, the biggest difference, and this is why I'm sorry that he was injured last year, is after the Auburn game, it would have been all those matchups in the SEC, going on the road and playing all that. He still has to gain that kind of experience. But for the short window that he's had at starting quarterback, that he is the guy. Now I think with that leadership, you're going to see a little bit more. And I think perhaps because he's healthy, you're going to see a little more of a scrambling or maybe even a running Connor Wegman at times. But we can talk about everything, all of that. the offensive line doesn't keep them upright, I don't care how good you are. That's where that's going to be another one of the storylines, not just for Saturday, but throughout this entire season for Texas A&M.
Andrew Monaco, voice of the Aggies here on the Blitz. First time head coach Mike Elco, at least with Texas A&M, making his debut. As he has come in and put his stamp on this program, one of the knocks on Jimbo Fisher, talent was there, but discipline was not. Fundamentals weren't. Knowing Mike Elco's track record, that's something he hangs his hat on. Discipline, strength, fundamentals, all that kind of stuff. Has he had enough time to completely instill that kind of culture there?
That was from day one in the first meeting when someone was late and that door was locked. There was no more coming in. We're not going to wait for that person. That accountability was huge. And that started in the offseason after the Texas Bowl. That's when he was able to take over. And that's when he said, not so much it was a change. This is how it's going to be. Look, at that time, you still had some guys in the win. They didn't know if they were coming back to here. And the ones who came back, you have to be all in. The accountability is big. The honesty is big. Mike said this to Dave Elmendorf and I. We were talking with him. We get a chance to get him after Thursday's practice one-on-one. And he said, look, you have to be honest with players. You can't lie to them, right? Not in this day and age. He said the key is, can you be honest without making it personal? And I think that's what makes Mike so good. Jason, if you talk to any player who has played for Mike Elco in the 4 years while he was here at Texas A&M, they rave about him. Was it easy? Absolutely not. But they became better players, and he's ushered some of those into the NFL. Even the offensive players always appreciated what Mike Elco would do with his teammates because they would talk. And I think that honesty is important. Look, you've got to recruit your 85, and I need to get rid of that number, right? It's going up to 105 in a little bit. You've got to recruit your own guys every single day. When you build that honest relationship, and that what I think is the key word, then that's when you have guys who are going to stay. There weren't as many guys who left as you would think from last year. I know there was a coaching change, and there were some big ones who went, but there was pretty good retention. But it also said something that you had a good number of guys who had their eyes knowing that they could make a difference here at Texas A&M coming in from other schools. And I thought Mike did another really good job, not just with that early signing period, but that olive branch and welcoming to the Texas High School Coaches Association. I think that was big. That was also a change here at Texas A&M.
You know, Andrew, this is me saying this. It's not you. I'm going to preface that before I say it. The biggest difference I see between Mike Elco and Jimbo Fisher, quite frankly, is ego. Mike Elco seems to be a down-to-earth. He's a football coach first and foremost, where Jimbo Fisher's a little bit Hollywood. Do you see that? Am I way off base on that?
No, you're not off base. I think it's two different ways to look at it, Joe, because Jimbo is also very blue collar. He's a West Virginia coal miner's son. That's as blue collar as you can possibly get. Now, he hit it big, coaching with Nick Saban at LSU, with Les Miles, national championships there, the national championship at Florida State. Sure, it's going to change you. And you know what? There are those expectations. What was difficult was they never took the next step after the first 4 years, after the Orange Bowl, after that fourth year where it was a really good year. And then you could not find a way to win those close games. I know you keep saying, okay, you have all these one-score games. What gets you over the top? What gets you a road win in the SEC? That's what couldn't be found. That's what Mike's going to have to try to solve as well. But no, they're both very blue collar. For me, for Mike, the way he came up from, look, he always jokes about, everyone's like, oh, what's it like being the head coach? He goes, look, I started out as a coach for the Merchant Marines. So he knows what he's had to do. He's coached in the MAC, right? He's been at so many places, and I don't think he asks his players to do anything he wouldn't do. He's going to put in the time for them. So, again, I think it's that accountability. Effort's big. Tempo is going to be different for this team this year. You look at A&M, I thought they played great in some big games, and then I thought, you know what, there were some other games you wanted to see. Why a slow start? Like, why was that? Can you get past those obstacles? And hopefully those close games, instead of losses, you then have a lead towards the end and you can play differently. It's one thing I'm interested to see for this team, not just on Saturday, but throughout this season and the seasons under Mike Elco.
Although it does start tomorrow night in a game you can listen to here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, your home for Aggie football, brought to you by the Angry Elephant and Ewald Kubota, the voice of the Aggies. Andrew Monaco will be on the call. Andrew, sorry for the technical issues, man. Hopefully that's the only technical stuff you've got to deal with all weekend long. Have a good call tomorrow night. Have fun with it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. The great Andrew Monaco on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Ryan Nagel out at the I-10 Ice House. Great place to go watch that game tomorrow night. If you're going to be grilling at home, make sure before you fire up that grill, you get into Tri-County Meat Market, because that great meal does start with great meat, and no better place than at Tri-County Meat Market. Locally owned and full service. They have everything you need to up your grilling game this weekend. It's a long weekend for Labor Day, and you have college football. They've got some specials for you. Bone-in ribeye at $15.99 a pound. Maybe you want to do some baby back ribs. That's what I'm thinking. Party ribs, $3.99 a pound for your baby back ribs, or a Wagyu brisket for $8.99 a pound. I saw some of those the other day. Man, those look so good. Wagyu brisket. It's going to be fantastic. They're $8.99. Maybe you want their Caesar fajitas, their burgers, their brisket burgers are incredible. And you can always take advantage of their Pick 5 special. Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Two great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener. Online, TriCountyMeat.com.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com. San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to sasportstar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com.
The Twin Liquors dollar sale is here. We dropped the price on all wine and spirits to the absolute lowest, then at $1. It's how we say thank you to our customers. Don't miss the dollar sale, now through Saturday, only at Twin Liquors.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah. I turned 40. I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text LION to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text LION to 42424. That's LION to 42424.
Lowe's knows saving pros time and money means getting the job done easier.
Right now, save 10% on Georgia Pacific vinyl siding panels. Plus, save an additional 20% when you buy in bulk. And get free same-day delivery to the job site when you order by 2 p.m. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Offer valid through 9/4. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the LA Chargers have reached an agreement with their kicker, Cameron Dicker, the kicker, on a 4-year, $22 million extension. Includes $12.5 million guaranteed. Makes him one of the 5 highest-paid kickers in the NFL. And the UTSA Roadrunners open up the season tomorrow at home against Kennesaw State. It's an orange out, Jason Minix, in the Alamo Dome. Kickoff set for 2:30.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minix at a Hero Stadium. High school football tonight. Joe Reinagle is over at the I-10 Ice House getting his Friday started with a hell of a cheeseburger and beer special.
No doubt about it. We got a bunch of deals out here. I'm going to tell you what, all over the place. Domestic beer is on special out here. They got the cheeseburgers on special out here. This is an Aggie-owned establishment, I'm told, Jason Minix, but Longhorn friendly. So you can watch the Aggies here. You can watch the Longhorns. You can watch whomever you choose. And it's a great place. There are TVs all over this place. And it's a very nice place. A lot of folks coming in here, starting their long weekend a little bit early, and we're already having a good time here at the I-10 Ice House.
And if you're trying to figure out where is the I-10 Ice House, the easiest way is say it's behind the old All-Stars. You're
assuming everybody knows where that is.
Yes, everybody's been to All-Stars, but everybody knows because that sign was massive.
It is the absolute glory hole.
I bet you Jerry knows.
Yeah, well, of course he does. He knows where all the All-Stars are, But that guy doesn't like to part with money, so I don't know if he's ever gone.
Well, just to his players. Now, to the All-Stars dancers, he might be a little more generous.
Well, there's no salary cap there. Well, depends on what Gene says.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Good times happening over there. Lots of prizes to give away if you want to win some Texas Ranger swag. They've got that out there. We've got some concert tickets that we're giving away throughout the afternoon. It's Friday. The weekend is here, and it's a long weekend at that. And quite frankly, I think we all need a long weekend.
There is no doubt about that, my friend. We all need a long weekend. Getting to start here, you got a long night ahead of you. I know you enjoy it. It's fun, and I get it, so I don't feel too bad for you. But it's 6:01, my friend, or maybe 6 and 30 seconds. How do you say that? You know what I'm talking about. I will have a cold beer in my hand.
Why are you lying to people? Our show technically ends at 5:55 and 50 seconds. And, I might be late for breaks throughout the hour, but I'm never late for the final break. I mean, so by 5:57, you better have a cold beer in your hand.
Well, that's a good point. I was just trying to
I've got water.
Yeah, well, you need to stay with that. I will have a cold beer. You know what? I'll do a toast in your honor.
I appreciate that. Just make sure you get it on video. Yeah. There are a couple of things, and I love Jeff Garcia over at Spurs Zone. I consider Jeff Garcia a good friend. He actually has a couple of things on his Twitter today that I find interesting. One of them is apparently Dick's Sporting Goods is selling Spurs T-shirts with the number 3 on it and the last name Paul. Unless they broke out in the storage room old Brandon Paul jerseys, they're already selling Chris Paul number 3 shirts over at Dick's Sporting Goods, right?
Sure.
But I'm really disappointed in the clickbait headline that they have on the Ken's 5 Twitter. It's got the eye emoji and says, could the bright lights of Los Angeles lure San Antonio Spurs Victor Wembanyama if the Lakers were to try to acquire him in the future? And then the subheadline, Robert Horry can see Victor being linked to the Lakers.
Whoa, if the Spurs are still struggling, yes. To be competitive, yeah.
So, I mean, clearly I'm going to click on that going, well, what the hell did Big Shot Rob say?
Yes.
And then I hear it and say, well, that's BS.
Like you said, we talked about it with Giannis a few years ago. Now it's Luka's turn. Now is at some point in time down the line, hell, it's going to be Wemby.
Oh, I'm surprised it's not
going to be
yet.
Wemby.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
You're going to hear it. Give it about 2-3 seasons, especially if the Spurs aren't doing anything. Or Wemby may not be quote unquote happy. You're gonna see his name connected to the Lakers all in on Wemby.
Now, first off, that is not Robert Horry. I know what that man sounds like. That's some dude named Brandon Harper, not Robert Horry.
Yeah, not Robert Horry. No. And I clicked on that article as well, thinking that too. And there's video and audio all over the place, so we can find that stuff. Because I thought, we've been saying that. I certainly have been saying that don't get comfortable with Victor Wembanyama being here for 20 years. It may happen, but then again, it may not. People are going to come calling for this young man as soon as they can. And if the Spurs are still struggling, which I can't imagine they would be, but I mean, that is a very likely scenario. So I thought, if Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry is saying that, well, then, there may be something a little more than smoke.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear Robert Horry's voice at all in there. I do a little bit in this clip when Brandon Harper is saying guys are likely to sign extensions where they are.
Who's not already under an extension that the Lakers like? That's what I'm saying. Like, these guys who are going to be brought up are going to more than likely sign extensions where they are, or their teams are going to try to their damnedest to get these guys to sign extensions. Like, Ant-Man ain't going nowhere.
It's only one dumb GM out there, and he's with the Clippers.
All right.
So if you're a Clipper fan, you might be a little upset with Robert Horry. Otherwise, he didn't say anything about Wemby that we could find.
Yeah. Again, but it's a really misleading clickbait headline. The headline should have said, Horry calls Clippers GM an idiot. And that would have been just fine. There was nothing in there that matched what I heard in the article. Clickbait. I hate clickbait. I fall for it too often. I hate it. But if Wemby going anywhere else, I'm clicking on that. Don't let that scare you.
Well, do let it scare you, which is why I am a proponent for getting this thing going and not just, making us feel good this year with Chris Paul. It's going to be great this year. He's going to teach everybody. Yippee. So what?
Yippee.
Yippee.
You just really drop a yippee?
Yippee.
Yippee. You got to say it with a lot more enthusiasm.
Well, I'm being sarcastic, obviously, but it's like, I mean, it's going to be fun having Chris Paul here for 50 games. That's awesome. But for the future, I mean, is he really going to teach everybody that much where it's going to be that much big of a difference? Let's get a team in here we can build with and start winning championships again.
Are you going to give us an enthusiastic yippee?
Yip, yip, yippee!
There's the drop. Perfect. We got it set up. Out of curiosity, knowing that he won't be here very long, are you really going to run out and buy a Chris Paul Spurs shirt?
No. Because Chris Paul, with all due respect, and I have a great deal of respect for that guy, love him, but he's not a Spur. He's not. He's making a stop here in his glorious career, a very brief one at that.
Yeah. This is what's interesting. The T-shirts for sale, according to the photos that Jeff has posted on his Twitter, that actually got sent to him from @CastroSunSolar. There are Keldon Johnson 3s on the same table as Chris Paul 3s and Jeremy Sohan 10s.
Well, we need some Keldon Johnson 0s, don't we? That's what he's going to.
Well,
now, I'd be impressed with that, but I wouldn't buy that either, Minix, because I'm not sure Keldon Johnson will be here much longer.
I know I sound so jaded, but I don't. Now, Wemby is a different story, but I only buy legends now. I mean, like my jersey collection, I've got so many jerseys that I'll never wear. And I hope my wife isn't listening to this right now, because I can't tell you how many times she says I should just sell off a bunch of jerseys. Yep. And I won't do it. They're in the guest room closet. They're not going anywhere. I haven't worn them in years. I don't even know what's in there really anymore, because my daughter likes to wear jerseys while she's snowboarding. So she has raided the closet, but I won't get rid of them, but I don't know what to do with them, but legends are all you need. I won't buy just I don't know. I mean, Wemby is the exception, because I do have a Wemby T-shirt, although it was a Christmas gift. But that's, but I wouldn't buy a Keldon, a Devin. I wouldn't buy I wouldn't buy a Dalvin Cook jersey. I wouldn't buy a Rico Dowdle jersey.
Now, Rico Dowdle might be good, but wait a minute. We got to go back to this. Your daughter likes to wear jerseys when she's snowboarding. There's got to be a story there. What the hell's going on?
Well, she goes snowboarding a lot. Of all things, my kid goes to Arizona State and picks up snowboarding, because they go up to Flagstaff, and they've got a mountain up there. They call it the Snow Bowl, and there is the Arizona State Snow Devils. That's the group that goes snowboarding. But I guess with like the hoodies and the sweatshirts, they all like to go in either football or hockey jerseys is what they wear. And so you put that on over your hoodies or your jacket or whatever, and that's just what they wear.
Okay. I had never heard that before, so I'm just curious. That's kind of an odd thing. I need a football jersey to go snowboarding.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. Yeah.
I don't know. Baggy and Ed's cushion. I don't know.
Perhaps, maybe.
What they do. It's what they do. Who knows? Let's talk some Cowboys coming up. You mentioned it in Sports Center, and I hadn't given it much thought, but a lot of people need to get paid on the Dallas Cowboys. You see the deal Cameron Dicker going to get next year. We'll dive into that coming up here on the Blitz. Joe Reinagle, go see him out at the I-10 Ice House on this Friday afternoon here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio Sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Ulta Beauty's 21 Days of Beauty event is back. From now until September 19th, score over 200 daily beauty steals at 50% off in every category. And check Ulta.com daily to get them all before they're gone. Take 50% off bestsellers from brands like Estee Lauder and Supergoop. Plus, say hello to new finds from brands like Dyson and Sol de Janeiro. And Ilia is now at Ulta Beauty in select stores and online. Shop in-store at Ulta.com or try pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply while supplies last.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pregame at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel over at the I-10 Ice House. I'm Jason Minix. Hey, Friday
What are you,
afternoon.
bird watching or what? Are you bird watching?
What do you mean?
I saw you with the binoculars. The hell are you doing?
Well, actually, you will appreciate this. It's 420. That's
Right.
not what I'm thinking. You'll appreciate that it's 420. But at Hero Stadium, where I am right now, there are a couple of cars at the gate by the end zone with, I could sell that looks like Mark Mendez from KSAT, and he can't get in. And then there's another car there, and so I was trying to figure out who he's talking to. It might be Larry Ramirez, but I can't see in the car. That's why I was using the binoculars to figure out. There's just all these cars, the news people that are stacked up trying to get in to get ready for their live shots, and the gates are locked over there.
Well, that's unusual because usually they open those things up pretty early. But hey, it's the first game of the year, right? So
first
everybody's
game
a
of
little
the
slow.
year. Yeah.
Everybody's a little slow.
I was able to get in.
it.
They had everything ready. Like the only room unlocked here, ready to go, was my room, and the gate was open. Everything was, because I get here stupid early, and everything was good to go for me. One of the coaches has just arrived. He's dragging all the stuff that he's got to put up to put the cameras in the end zone. But yeah, the TV guys are on the outside of the gate, just waiting to get in. Too damn lazy to walk around. You know how they are.
Well, yeah. And why not? We're used to having gates open and things just, moved out of the way so those guys can just walk right in. So, yeah, it's all changed, Minix, since I left TV. They just don't treat those guys the same way. And so, I'm sorry that I left and it caused all this unnecessary burden for everybody else.
So it's your fault.
Well, I mean, it's not my fault. It's just that, when I left, everybody was sad and depressed.
Were they?
I have no idea. I wasn't.
No, you weren't. Your life has gotten great. See,
I'm having a great time.
What people don't really know is behind the scenes if Reinagel was sitting here as opposed to the I-10 Ice House, he would be texting those guys messages that we can't say on the radio and making fun of them while they're out there setting up. A little windy today. It's not hot, but I mean, the live shot that they will do in about an hour on the field and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And, Joe is very much, I don't have to do that anymore. Sucks to be you, but yeah, right?
Absolutely. Well, and words to that effect that, again, you can't say on the radio, but yes, absolutely. I like making fun of those guys. Plus, it's got to be a little warm outside. And those were the days that, love high school football, but doing live shots at 5 and 6 o'clock were kind of tough.
I love the messages that I'm getting. Bill Harrison, who works here for the school district, just sent me a text and said, I'll head that way with my gate key. Adam from KSAT 12, who's the best, he just sent me a text and says, I blame Joe. And he probably blames you for everything. Marcus Floyd texted, said that, no, I had all the pull that got him hooked up always. That I believe. Marcus Floyd had all the pull, not you.
You actually believe that? Come on.
Yes, I believe that.
Well, I wouldn't buy everything you hear from old Marcus. All right.
I know Marcus extremely well, and I've done this for a long time, sitting in stadiums and watching when the TV guys show up. And unless you guys are in the same car, Marcus would be here early, do all the heavy lifting, get everything set up. You would show up 15 minutes before you were supposed to be on, and you just stand there and look pretty. You don't help with the thing.
Well, Marcus is a lot like Greg Shelton. I offer to help, and he says, no, Joe, I got it. They're the same guy. So I offer, and Marcus was just kind enough to say, don't worry about it, Joe. I got it. I'll take care of it. You just stand there and look pretty.
And Adam, since you're listening from KSAT, you got to make fun of Mark Mendez. I can't tell you how many times he has come over to check the gate to see how if it's been unlocked without anybody being there. He has checked it at least 3 times since the initial time of realizing it's locked. And he just is walking over now, checking it again, just, I don't know, confirm that it's locked. That's comical.
That is hilarious. But that's Mark Mendez.
Yeah.
Mendez is one of those guys. Now, the photographers.
They're all great.
Yes, including my brother Marcus Floyd. I give him a hard time, but
Adam says double down on what Marcus says. The photogs know.
Yeah,
Marcus says that you're full of poop emoji.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm great. I can only imagine what they're texting you right now, but they know I'll speak the truth.
Yeah, I can't repeat it on air. That's the problem. No. Some of the stuff that I'm getting over here. So, yeah.
See, yeah, that's total anchorman, Ron Burgundy. You read what's in front of you without knowing if you should actually read that or not. That's why they send it to me, because they know I'm smart enough to be able to clean it up to get the message out across.
Well, and that's a good thing. Those guys, man, they don't do anything. Come on. Photographers always, we do all the work. Come on. You kidding me? We make them look good. The anchors do.
I think it's the other way around, man. I think it's the other way around. I mean, with the exception of Greg Shelton, the behind-the-scenes people are really what makes everything go.
And with the exception of Shelton? Dude, hang on now. I'm sitting next to this guy over here, so don't insult him.
I'm not stupid.
You may be doing your show alone here in about 2 minutes.
Like I said, no, I'm kidding. And Shelton knows that.
Does he?
Although most engineers can. Shelton does as little as possible to get the job done.
Yes, he does. I've already heard about Shelton, man, and his shower habits.
What?
It's something. Yeah, it's something that I'm not going to be able to get.
Hold on. I'm afraid to ask this question. Oh, good Lord, I'm afraid to ask this question. Why are you talking with Greg Shelton about his shower habits?
Well, we came in. Now, we were at 49 Cigars yesterday, right?
Yes.
And we were there for a while, and you're in there, and you leave, you kind of smell like a cigar. And we all did that. There's nothing wrong with that. It actually smells good. We had a great time over there, by the way. It was fantastic. But, when you get home, I changed clothes, took a shower, and it was that. Then, Shelton's telling me I stripped down and put all my clothes in a laundry basket, took it outside. Now, I don't know if he took it outside before he put other clothes on. He might have been walking around, his neighborhood naked. I don't know, but.
Well, you've been to his neighborhood. He could be naked all he wants. He probably stripped down in the driveway. His neighbor's got the full moon.
He may have. So anyway, I've got to live with that and have that rolling around in my head for the next, I don't know, a long time. It's going to take a long time for that image to go away.
It doesn't need to. Your obsession with Greg Shelton's nakedness is a little concerning. Like you and I were on the phone earlier. Yeah, well, it sounds like it. You and I were on the phone earlier. You said, "Man, I just got out of the shower," and I didn't think about it any further than that. There was no image. I asked, "Did you towel off yet?" You said, "Yes." I was good to go. It's all I needed to imagine.
Well, I didn't tell you, Al Jason, before I got in the shower, I stripped down and put all my clothes here. I'm talking graphic stuff.
Now, graphic. How graphic did it get? I don't know about you, but I imagine if you jumped in the shower, you stripped down at some point and were naked. Most people I know, except for maybe freshmen, their first week of high school football, jump in the shower with their shorts on.
He was having music playing behind it and the whole thing. It was a big production.
Music playing by. So he turns on music while he's getting ready. Is that unusual?
Well, no. I'm talking about here. Joe, let me describe this for you.
Boom, really?
Chicka, wow, wow.
He did not do that. Whatever music was playing in your head while imagining Greg Shelton stripped down to go jump in the shower is your perversions, not anybody else's. That's all on you.
I didn't ask for that story. It was just voluntarily told to me. So I'm just telling you.
An update. Mark Mendez has walked half the stadium, and he has found a guy who showed up in a tractor to unlock the gate, but did not offer Mark Mendez a ride back to his car to allow him in.
Well, Mendez is going to be done then. That guy's going to have to go home. Adam, if you're listening, you're going to have to take over real quick because Mendez hadn't walked that far in his life.
Adam just texted, that's the most exercise he'll get all year.
You see that? Yes, exactly.
Welcome to week 1 of high school football play-by-play here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Of course, later tonight, we've got Johnson against Judson, our game of the week, energized by Hill Electric, Frost Bank, and NCE General Contractors. It's going to be a fun time here. It's fun time over at the I-10 Ice House where Joe Reinagel is at. Great place to go watch the college football games that are tonight, which is a crime. The college football games on Saturday. Let's talk some Cowboys coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Can't wait to put a wager or two down on some of these college football games that are happening tonight, happening tomorrow. You've got a big game on Sunday, and the best way to do that is go to BetUS.com. That's where I go to get in on all the action. It is the best. BetUS.com. And right now they have got one heck of a deal for you. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Yeah, you heard me right. 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. And look, BetUS, they are the best because they offer value that other sports books simply don't offer. Gambler's insurance. If you like crypto, they've got crypto bonuses and casino bonuses. By the way, BetUS is more than just a sports book. It is a casino as well. You can play casino games at you can also give your bet an edge. They've got a TV station. It's called BetUS TV, and they'll give you analysis, picks, predictions on all the major sports. So you go in informed. Look, BetUS is the best. I use them. You should use them as well. So get started today at BetUS.com, or you can give them a call, 1-800-MY-BET-US. That's 1-800-MY-BET-US. BetUS, that's where the game begins.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. The weekend is done. Aggies, how you feeling? Texas fan, where you at? We'll talk about it.
And it's NFL Week 1. Cannot wait to dive into that schedule. We'll be here at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Attention Roadrunner fans, get ready for an electrifying season of UTSA football. Season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $90. That's right, for only $90 you can catch all the action, all the touchdowns, and all the excitement at the Alamo Dome. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join the fun as we cheer on our UTSA Roadrunners to victory. Don't miss out on the best deal in town. Get your season tickets today and be a part of the Roadrunner family. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football, it's more than a game, it's an experience. Go Runners!
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
The NFL is on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix at the I-10 Ice House. Great place to go watch games tonight. There's college football tonight. Not a fan of that. Friday nights are sacred for high school football. This weekend, Longhorns, UTSA play at 2:30. Aggies at 6:30. Get in where Joe is at right now, the I-10 Ice House, where they got one hell of a burger and beer special.
Yeah, no kidding. It's going all the way until 8 o'clock tonight, by the way. So you can get a burger for $2.08, a cheeseburger for $2.31. And that's incredible. They've got domestic beer for $2.08. So it's just a great place. A lot of folks coming in here and having a good time, starting their long weekend with us here at the I-10 Ice House. Plus, We've been giving away Rangers jerseys, Rangers bobbleheads. We're still doing that. So a lot happening. Come on out here, start your weekend early with us at the I-10 Ice House. And you mentioned it, Jason, but all weekend long with the college football, this is a place to do it. Aggie-owned, but Longhorn friendly.
There you go. And don't forget, if you're playing golf this weekend, get signed up for our Fall Golf Classic coming up September 30th out at Olympia Hills, benefiting San Antonio Sports, presented by the law office of Jesse Hernandez, Flight by Yingling and Jim Beam. Also a hole-in-one contest for a shot at $50,000 or Mercedes-Benz, brought to you by PPL Motorhomes and Mercedes-Benz of Selma. $100 a person if you sign up as a foursome, $120 as an individual. Get signed up, sasportstar.com. You know, Joe, I've got a video on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram today at SA Sports Star, and we've debated, we've argued everything about Dak Prescott and his contract. And
yes.
the reality is Jerry Jones is going to cave. What option does he have? Because Jerry has failed to plan for life after Dak Prescott, he's in a bind. When you look at teams that have moved on from a franchise quarterback, whether you look at Seattle Seahawks doing that with Russell Wilson, the Raiders decided to do it with Derek Carr, the Saints did with Jameis Winston, even the Falcons kind of had a plan after Matt Ryan. It just didn't work. Pittsburgh's been looking for a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger retired. This is the fourth, fifth straight year in a row they have started a different quarterback. Yeah. The Cowboys have a franchise quarterback. I know he hasn't done anything in the playoffs, and he needs to. But if you don't have a plan in place, and the Cowboys don't, do you really want to go through on your own decision what the Raiders are going through, what Seattle, who has a bridge quarterback, and that's exactly what it's been in Seattle. All right, that's it. You go back to the days after Troy retired and think about some of the guys that have started for the Dallas Cowboys. And I had to go look it up. The Drew Hensons, the Chad Hutchinsons, Anthony Wright, Clint Sterner started. I mean, you just look at that. Do you really want to go back to that? Or do you sign Dak Prescott now and immediately, like Atlanta did after they signed Kirk Cousins, go find his replacement? And whatever that contract is, at least you have a plan in place. The risk of forcing Dak Prescott to play this year without a contract is he becomes a free agent, and Jerry Jones has less leverage in March than he does right now. Because if you're Dak Prescott and you can become a free agent, the cost, one, is going to be more than it is today. Tomorrow's price is always more than it is today. But also, Dak might just give a couple of birds up to Jerry Jones and say, you didn't treat me right, I'm out. Why give him a chance to match? I mean, seriously.
He didn't treat him right. Really? That's where you're going to go? He didn't treat him right? I think Jerry Jones has treated Dak Prescott really well. Man's made generational wealth as a member of the Dallas Cowboys. But you can't say that. That's not fair to say he hadn't been treated well. Come on.
Well, as far as you tell me you love me, well, in the NFL, you tell somebody you love them, you show them with the new contract. Listening to Dak Prescott talk yesterday about his contract situation and if they are going to continue to negotiate in the media, reading the quotes is one thing, listening to him is another.
That's up to Todd and those guys. Once again, I'm not going to be a part of them here as the season starts. And they've been going obviously heavily through Todd and Steven both. Yeah, it's just all part of it. As I said, my job and my focus now is control what I can. And as I said, back in camp, it's two parts of this. Both sides have to come to the agreement.
You don't need a deal done before the season.
I don't need no.
Would you like it done before the season?
I think it says a lot if it is or if it isn't. But however, doesn't really matter to me, to be honest with you.
What does it say if it isn't?
Just how people feel.
Which people?
I don't know.
How do you feel? how do you feel? Right about that.
And you hear that, Joe. when I say treated right, and he's been treated great by the Dallas Cowboys, but in this particular contract negotiation, you say you love me, you say you want me, unless he's asking for something that is way out of market, which I doubt, Jerry Jones can show that by offering him the deal. If he becomes a free agent, if he gets this close to free agency, the price could go way up with whatever kind of bidding war that is out there, and all it takes is one team, and there's probably 3 to 4 teams that would pay him, but there is no guarantee for Jerry Jones that Dak would come back. This summer, watching Hard Knocks, we all watched, if you watched Hard Knocks, the Saquon Barkley on the phone with the Giants general manager. I will bring whatever offer to you. I want to be a Giant, he said, and he never came back to the table. Is Jerry willing to play with that kind of fire?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Jerry Jones is a guy that is willing to take some chances, and I don't see anything wrong with having Dak Prescott honor this year of his contract, play football, and see where the chips fall. Look, if he earns something, Jerry's going to back up a truck for him, and then Dak can decide if it's not really money and just want to get out of the circus and go somewhere else, then so be it. But yeah, I think it's time to take a chance. And if Dak forces the hand and leaves, then he leaves. And then you have to start over and you have to figure something else out. I don't know what they're talking. I don't know what the numbers are. Stephen Jones told you and I in Oxnard they had offered Dak a contract. I don't know what the numbers were on that. Don't know what the years were. Obviously, Dak didn't like it, and they still don't have a deal. So, can they meet in the middle? Is it all on Dak's terms? We don't know that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with having Dak Prescott play this year and say, look, I'm bet on myself again. I've done it for years. I've made a lot of money doing that. I'm going to bet on myself again. Let's go play. Let's see how we do, and then we can make up our mind after the season is over. I just don't see why there's a big rush to get Dak Prescott signed and for another 4 or 5 years at whatever, $60 million a year. Right now, I don't. Play your contract. Let's go play.
Players want the long-term security, right? You look at Jamar Chase has 2 years left. CD had 1 year left. Jamar Chase is going really early. Dak Prescott could have forced the issue by holding out. He did not. Sign of good faith, however you want to look at it. He has not used every bit of leverage that Dak Prescott has in these negotiations, or he could have held out. Everything you said is true. He could play the year out. But if you're the Dallas Cowboys, are you willing to risk letting Dak Prescott walk and get nothing in return for him, and you don't have a plan in place? I look at the Chiefs had Alex Smith, drafted Patrick Mahomes, made him wait a year, and they knew they had the right guy, and they let Alex Smith go. Green Bay, Philadelphia are able to let their quarterback go because they had something in place. They had a plan. The idea that the Cowboys have no plan, nobody real. And look, it might have been an idea with Trey Lance, but clearly that isn't a real option for the Dallas Cowboys. Unless you want to just go back to those days of, well, maybe we get 5 wins, maybe we get 6, then sure, let him walk. I just don't know with Jerry Jones at his age and everything else that he's invested into this roster, if he really wants to roll the dice and go with a bridge type or quarterback or somebody we're going to take a flyer on.
Well, it looks like as we sit here today on August the 30th that he's okay with doing that. I mean, look, if they wanted to pay Dak Prescott and with all the scenarios you just laid out, and they don't want to get rid of him and don't want him to hit free agency, they would have come to an agreement by now. I mean, let's face it. Unless Dak is just asking for something that is astronomical, that Jerry says, no, there's a ceiling there and I don't want to pay that. All of those scenarios that you painted out, they were the same scenarios back in June, back in July.
Sure.
Nothing has changed. Nothing at all has changed. So why didn't they get it done then as opposed to now? As we sit here today, it appears that Jerry Jones is willing to roll the dice.
Willie, I mean, because you look at the contract that CeeDee Lamb ultimately got, Did they really need a holdout to get to that? It is pretty insane. I believe it was David Hellman from Fox Sports that put the years and the number right on the nose the day that Jefferson signed his deal. You look at that deal that CeeDee Lamb ultimately got. We didn't have to go through a holdout and all of the mess. But that's the way Jerry Jones does things. So you could apply the same thing when Dak Prescott, let's say when, not if, but when Dak Prescott signs before the season, and he didn't sound happy yesterday, and maybe the impatience will get Jerry moving, because while there is no deadline, it sounded like Dak really wants a deal done before the start of the season, at least in the media. The idea that maybe this is the case in the scenario when you see the deal, you go, why wasn't this done in June, where you could have created cap space and gone and got things in free agency? The Cowboys don't typically do things in a normal way. We have seen that, because when you see the CeeDee Lamb deal, you say, did you really have to do all of this? And the answer is no. But that's the way the Cowboys do business.
Well, and with CeeDee Lamb, I think it's a little bit different, in my opinion, because, signing him early probably would have saved them about $4 million a year. You probably could have gotten CeeDee Lamb for $30 million, $31 million a year, instead of the 34 that he's making now. With Dak Prescott, you're talking about setting the market, resetting the quarterback market. That's what we're talking about here. So you're talking about almost $30 million more than what you just paid your wide receiver. That is a huge jump. And so the whole, it's not as simple as, well, CeeDee Lamb got this, and if they would have done it earlier, it's so much different. That's why, Jason, I really don't believe, there may be one or two, but I don't think there's going to be this long line of teams like you keep saying that are going to be knocking on Dak's door to pay him $60 million a year.
I do. Salary cap keeps going up. It's within the salary cap, and it's the going rate for quarterbacks. And I know you hate that, but that's the reality of the NFL world. And, those salaries go up because it is a percentage of the salary cap, and that is going to continue to rise. So, yeah, we all get hung up on numbers, and I do too, but it's quarterbacks cost more than everybody else. That's part of it. And the Cowboys are certainly aware. I mean, we've had many conversations with Stephen Jones, and, and I've been in the room, I think you have too, where they've got all the different position groups and the money allocated. No different than really you at your house. You know what your income is, and you've got this money for your light bill, this money for this bill, this money for your house payment, this money for your car payments, this, the teams do that too with position groups. They know what it's going to cost to have a quarterback, and they always say they're planning to keep 3. How many times Stephen Jones brought that up with you and I in Oxnard about a month ago? About a month ago. It's hard to believe it was already been a month since we were in Oxnard. And I just think that's where it is. To me, it's just a matter of time. They know what it's going to cost. I do believe Jerry has a walkaway price, but Dak did not sound happy yesterday. And that's why I like playing the audio as opposed to just reading the quotes. The quotes read bad, but you could hear frustration in the voice. CeeDee Lamb the other day said he knew it was going to happen all along, but he admitted to getting impatient. Dak could have held out and really forced the hand if he wanted to use all of his leverage. He could have held out. That's the thing, and you heard him say it. In the NFL world, you say you love me, you show me by your contract. And that's what I took out of what Dak Prescott said yesterday.
Well, sure. And again, but what is Dak asking for? What is he asking? We don't know that. Steven told us, I have no reason to doubt him. They handed him a contract. Now, it could have been a ridiculous contract. I get that. But what does Dak want? What is he expecting for all this love that Jerry Jones is going to show him? How much is that going to cost, where Dak sits back in his bed at night all cuddled up in a blanket and says, oh, Jerry loves me. He really loves me. Well, what is the money? What is it?
Apparently 50 isn't it. It might be 57. It might be 58. It might be how much of it is guaranteed. I've got to believe, because of how the NFL works, he isn't asking for anything ridiculous. Is it going to be the highest paid? Probably, in one way or the other. There was a time on the podium, he said in Oxnard, he doesn't necessarily have to be the highest paid quarterback. So maybe the APY isn't there, but the guarantees are. Maybe it's number of years. Maybe it's structure. I don't know that Dak would be asking for anything ridiculous by his standards. It's all ridiculous by our standards, but top of the market pay is what he's looking for. Jerry can say, look, and Jerry said it the other day, and Dak said, I quit listening to Jerry a long time ago, but, he wants him. He says he wants him. We all know what his playoff record is, but we also know what his regular season record is. Do you want to steal the line from Jerry? Do you want to be hanging around the rim, or do you want to just go back to the Drew Henson, Chad Hutchinson days, which is, what I ask on the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram video today. Make sure you go follow and comment on Instagram at SA Sports Star.
Well, and look, and you should, and comment on that. But, I mean, are you sure that that's going to happen? Maybe Jerry rolls the dice and he finds, I don't know, a Brock Purdy. Maybe he rolls the dice and he finds a CJ Stroud. Maybe he rolls the dice and he finds somebody that would actually work. I mean, Cowboy fans are funny because you automatically assume that it's going to be some dirtbag quarterback that's not going to make it. And so that's the assumption. Now, we get rid of Dak, we're going to suck for the next 10 years. Never going to go anywhere. And I just don't see that. I don't see that. Look, Jerry Jones, as we sit here today, wants Dak Prescott to play out his contract. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And keep in mind, Jason, and I know it's the top of the deal, and I know how it works, even though I don't like it, but you're talking about a man who is asking for at least a $20 million a year raise. $20 million per year raise. That's what, when we talk about $60 million a year, that's what the going rate is to set the market. I mean, I don't know about you, but most businesses giving raises like that are huge. I know the salary cap's going up. I know all of that stuff. However, I just think that Jerry, I believe he's telling him, look, play this year. If we get what we want and you can convince us and you work it out, hey, then I'm going to back a truck up. And maybe it's $70 million after that point in time. Maybe, who knows? But what I'm saying is that I don't think there's anything wrong with asking your quarterback, who you have paid a ton of money to already, to play out this year and go earn it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if Jerry's doing that, God bless him.
Well, and again, he's playing with fire if he does. It's also the real world. And when you put it that way, it just shows you how much the NFL has grown in the last couple of years, that the going rate would be a $20 million basically a year raise. But again, it's all percentage of salary cap. It is the Blitz. Ryan Nagel live out at the I-10 Ice House on this Friday. He's about an hour away from a beer. You're a phone call away from winning tickets to go see Bush, Jerry Cantrell, and Candlebox next Wednesday out at the Freeman Coliseum. If you want to go, be caller number 9 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 9, you're going to go see Bush next Wednesday out at Freeman Coliseum. It is a Friday. Everybody has their weekend plans. None of you plan on getting arrested, I hope, but some of you will. It happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-21, online, mybestbailbonds.com.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by England, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your car, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back. I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it's the big news of the day. The LA Chargers have reached an agreement with their kicker, Cameron Dicker, the kicker. 4 years, $22 million, includes a $12.5 million guarantee. By the way, Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey is eligible for an extension next year. UTSA at home tomorrow against Kennesaw State. 2:30 kickoff inside the Alamo Dome. And UIW will open up the year at home at 6 against Northern Colorado.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. At the I-10 Ice House, he is Joe. I'm Jason Minix over at Heroes Stadium on this Friday. Football Friday at that.
It is Football Friday. We got a full slate of college football coming up. this weekend. And no better place to watch all the football games than right here at the I-10 Ice House. And I tell you, it's a great place. There's not a bad seat in the house. There are giant screens all over the place. There are bars all over the place. Pool tables. They got a ping pong table over here, Jason. They got, everything you can imagine. They got even $2.08 hamburgers till 8 o'clock tonight, $2.31 cheeseburgers till 8 o'clock tonight. The domestic beer is on sale. Everything out here, and people are getting their Labor Day weekend kicked off in the right way here at I-10 Ice House.
And you got some great Ranger swag to give away. People can go by and get a selfie with Greg Shelton and imagine what you described earlier, which makes those photos even more creepy than they were yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd forgotten all about that until you brought it back up again.
You did not forget about that.
I wish you'd stop. Honestly,
You're gonna
have
wake up
nightmares tonight.
You're gonna wake up Saturday from your midday nap, thinking about the gorgeous scenery, and some guy's gonna walk by, and that's gonna remind you of what you're thinking of Greg Shelton.
Well, is Festus gonna be there?
Maybe. Maybe. I forgot about that. He was given a nickname yesterday by the guys out at 49 Cigars.
Yes, Festus.
Now, I'm not old enough to know what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, you are. You know who Festus is. Now, some people may not. They're going, who the hell's that? There was a show called Gunsmoke many moons ago.
Yeah.
And Marshall Dillon's sidekick was Festus.
Okay.
He had a beard, scruffy beard, and he was kind of a grumpy old dude. And that fits Greg Shelton to a T.
Hang on, I got a Google image Festus. Well, I need more than just Googling Festus, apparently, because all kinds of things come up. What was the show? Gunsmoke?
Gunsmoke.
All right, let's see. Oh, good Lord. Festus Hagen. All right.
Festus Hagen.
Yeah.
Now Shelton told that guy yesterday, now I don't know if this is true, but I'll take Shelton's word for it, that Festus was one hell of a musician.
Was he really?
A singer. Yeah, apparently he was a hell of a singer.
Huh. Well, he's dead.
Country?
He died. He
should have been a cowboy.
It says occupations, actor, singer. He did die in 1991 at the age of 74.
Okay. Well, Gunsmoke was what, way back in the 60s?
Dude, I don't really, I sure. Yes, 50s, 60s, I don't know.
Yeah. It had a 20-year run, according to Shelton.
On MeTV, they have the best of Festus Hagen. The actor was Ken Curtis, but that guy is way too thin to be Greg Shelton.
Well, he may have, after he retired, he might have blown up a little.
Yeah. Yeah. Blown up a little.
I could see Festus there and Shelton as being long-lost relatives.
You think that's a distant cousin?
Maybe it's a distant cousin. Could be.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Festus is, just Google it. I just Googled Gunsmoke, and all that stuff came up. So
that guy's way too good looking to be Greg Shelton. That can't be his nickname.
Well, I think it was just the grumpiness of the character Festus and the grumpiness of the character Greg Shelton.
Well, I mean, grumpy-ass Greg Shelton, I think, is still the clubhouse lead for nicknames for good old Greg. But it did kind of start because at 49 Cigars on the lockers, everybody seemed to have some sort of nickname on their lockers. If you go into 49 Cigars, and if you want to buy cigars, leave them there. You can get a locker, and they all had nicknames on them. So everybody needed a nickname. And it's always better to not let somebody else give you a nickname, because otherwise you could be screwed.
Yeah, but yes, you could be. That's for sure. But I think Greg, he didn't mind that one too much. It wasn't an insult to him. I think he enjoyed that. He was fine.
I mean, when it's true, it's true. And that's one thing. Greg Shelton owns his grumpiness. He is. I mean, it's not like we're talking behind his back. He hears everything that we say. And, I also appreciate a guy that can make fun of himself, that, like you and I can. I mean, that's part of it.
Of course.
It goes with the territory. We'll talk with John Machota coming up in about 10 minutes, get back into the Cowboy conversation. But college football this weekend, and we did talk with Andrew Monaco earlier today here on the Blitz. If you missed it, it's in the audio vault at sasportstar.com, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. You think about the football this weekend, and I know the UTSA game is certainly going to be a lot of fun, although it should be an easy win. Longhorns should have an easy win. UIW should have an easy win. There are some decent games this weekend. We'll do prime picks after 5:30, but kind of circling back in that onto that Aggie game. Game day being there, Johnny Manziel is as the guest picker. This game with A&M being favored, and that surprises me that they are favored, especially when you look at the rankings. Is that really the home field is supposedly worth 3 points, right? But
it is.
Notre Dame is a top 10 team with a real quarterback. Mike Elco in his first game as the head coach of the Aggies. And when we were out in Las Vegas last week at Circa Las Vegas, one of the guys that run a sports book, the guys that know, he said, the one thing I never do is bet on a coach in their first game or a quarterback making his first start. Well, in this game, you've got a coach as a head coach for the first time of this program and a quarterback making his first start for Notre Dame. What do you do in this situation? If you've got a rule that says new quarterback, new coach, I stay away from that team.
Well, that's hard to do, especially college football. At least the pros had some preseason action, kind of work their kinks out and shake some of the rust off. College, you don't have that. You've been practicing. That's all you've been doing. And you get a matchup like this with two good teams, at least on paper right now, two good teams. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how your team's going to come out. Are you going to be sluggish? Are things going to go, hey, you just don't know. Hopefully both teams play very well, and it's a great football game. But to sit there and bet on it, the only reason that I would be liking Texas A&M is because I think under Mike Elco, they're going to be fired up. Not to say Notre Dame isn't, and not the fact that I hate Notre Dame. That don't let that cloud your mind either.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
But I just think that home field advantage is one of a kind. I have never been to a more rowdy place than Kyle Field, and I just think, to me, from where I have been personally, I've never been to a better atmosphere than you get when there are 100,000 plus screaming at Kyle Field. It's fantastic.
And with Notre Dame kicking things off, it's not like they're playing, some directional school or whatever. And, the midnight yell tonight and the tailgating all day because it's a night kickoff. And with game day there, everybody's going to be there early. It's hot, but it's not as hot as it could be, right? Even
right.
Those going to Austin, a 2:30 game in Austin, it's another reason why I love the Alamo Dome and UTSA. Tailgating
Yes.
might get warm, but the game will be inside the air conditioning. I'm with you. I think the atmosphere will play a big part. How the Aggies work without Reuben Owens, their star running back, it becomes a question. But I do like Connor having had experience as the starter. It's not like it will be his first start coming off an injury, but he's got something to prove. And I like that in a college quarterback.
Absolutely. He's got something to prove. There's no question about that, Jason. You hit the nail on the head there. He got injured last year, obviously was disappointing for him, but I think he wants to come out and show that he is the quarterback of this football team. And having that experience that he had is going to help him a lot. And I like Mike Elko. When you look at him, and I brought this up with Andrew, and it's really more my opinion than anything. Jimbo Fisher was more big time. Mike Elko is a big time coach, but he acts like a high school football coach, if that makes any sense. He's no nonsense. He holds you accountable, and I think that's going to make a big difference with this football team.
Cowboys, they kickoff next week. Dak Prescott with some interesting things to say yesterday. Let's talk about it next. John Machota from The Athletic will join us here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Football season is here. You need to be playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. I know I won a lot of money last year playing the Pick'em game on Underdog. You too should join. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year, and you could win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Making picks is easy, so is getting signed up. If you haven't signed up yet, do it now. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their app. Use promo code STAR when you sign up, and Underdog will give you a highly discounted first pick to use on your first pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR, STAR, easy, to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Get signed up today at UnderdogFantasy.com.
94.1. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. Recently, we've all seen advertisements from attorneys here in San Antonio saying their firm does not get paid an attorney fee unless there's a recovery. And maybe you've heard, we don't get paid unless you get paid, or words to that effect. Well, that is what I've been doing for more than 30 years. I honestly did not know that there were attorneys in San Antonio that would represent an injured client and charge a fee if there was no recovery. You see, I practice law with basic principles, one of which is you never need an excuse to do the right thing. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, including a commercial or business vehicle, an 18-wheeler, call me. The phone call and consultation is free. If you hire me, I will not get a fee unless there is a recovery. And this has been true for me and my firm for more than 30 years. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ulta Beauty's 21 Days of Beauty event is back. From now until September 19th, score over 200 daily beauty steals at 50% off in every category. And check Ulta.com daily to get them all before they're gone. Take 50% off bestsellers from brands like Estee Lauder and Supergoop. Plus, say hello to new finds from brands like Dyson and Sol de Janeiro. And Ilia is now at Ulta Beauty in select stores and online. Shop in-store at Ulta.com or try pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply while supplies last.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Notre Dame Leprechauns, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pregame at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Ryan goes out at the I-10 Ice House on Jason Minix out at Hero Stadium as they get ready for high school football tonight. Johnson against Judson. Pregame at 7, kickoff at 7:30. The Cowboys kick off a week from Sunday against Cleveland. Let's talk about it with John Machota from The Athletic, who joins us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And John, I thought, all right, CD gets signed. We're done with contract talk, but there's still Dak. And the way Dak sounded yesterday, seemingly a little frustrated that he, too, does not have a new deal. Did you take it that way when you guys were talking to him yesterday?
Absolutely. This has followed a path that Dak's kind of been on for the last few months, where he's just talked very openly about him understanding that this could be his last year with the Cowboys. And as I've said to you guys many a times, I thought CD would get done before the season started, and I didn't feel that way about Dak, and I don't feel that way right now. And I think that the lack of communication probably from the Cowboys with Dak's agent is probably a factor in there, and it probably is letting Dak know that there might not be one done before the season starts. And if there's not, he made it pretty clear that it kind of speaks to the way people feel about this whole situation. And if you read between the lines, that certainly means that the way that the Cowboys feel, that they might want to see more from Dak. And I've said to you guys many a times, the actions speak louder than words. And the actions are that if there isn't a contract done by the start of the season, I don't see one getting done during the season. And so I started believing this back in March when he didn't get a contract extension done before free agency started. And there's no reason for me to think any differently now. Jerry Jones wants to see Dak Prescott play his 9th full season and then determine there if he's going to give him a new deal or if Dak's going to hit free agency.
Wow, John, Jason and I have been talking about that, debating it back and forth about, what's the right way, what's the wrong way, the chance that Jerry would take by doing that. But I have to believe, John, and you tell me your thoughts. I have to believe if Dak goes into this year, leads this Cowboy team to a couple of playoff wins, that Jerry will almost back up the truck and give him figure. But I just think Jerry has to see if Dak can actually do it.
Yeah, no, that's what it comes down to. I mean, Dak has done everything during the regular season you could hope over the last 8 years. He played at a very high level last year and was certainly a quarterback that you would want leading your franchise. But the Jerry Jones part of this whole thing is wanting to see them go farther in January. And I think maybe it's different if they beat Green Bay and then lose to San Francisco for a 3rd consecutive year. Maybe that way they just look at it as, hey, we just don't have as much talent as San Francisco. But the way last season ended, with how good things were going and how well they were playing at home, to not only lose to Green Bay, but lose in the fashion they did, that carries so much more weight. And I've been saying this all offseason, and it kind of, in a way, warms my heart because I've been calling this. And for some reason, I just love that this has been happening lately. Jerry has been talking about Green Bay more and more. I knew that he was still angry about that, and he has mentioned it multiple times now at training camp. He mentioned it again the other day that we got to get past Green Bay. And when he means that, he doesn't mean that Packers team. He means like that loss, to get past something like that. I knew that he was not going to let that thing go. I know that bothered him a lot, that it wasn't just losing the playoffs again. It was, they looked like they took a step back from the teams that came up short against the 49ers. This was, you didn't even get to the Niners game. You didn't even get to possibly get blown out in that game. You got blown out before in the round before, and you were at home. And so I think all of that factors in. And believe me, there's people listening to this that I can promise you think that well, that it's not all on Dak, and it's not all on Dak. And there's most people would give him a new contract. He would have that already, would have done it in March. But at the end of the day, this comes down to one person, and it's Jerry Jones, and that's the person I'm talking about right now. The actions say that Jerry wants to see more from Dak.
And I agree with that, and I want to see more from Dak in the postseason. What I'm afraid of, just as a Cowboy fan, John Machota, is if Dak Prescott hits free agency, why would he give Jerry the opportunity to match? If so, especially if there becomes a bidding war, and I do think a couple of 3 teams would throw whatever money Dak wants at them because he would be a massive upgrade over what they currently have with no plan in place. You know, the Eagles had Jalen Hurts so they could move on from Carson Wentz. You go back, Alex Smith was in Kansas City. They got Patrick Mahomes. They were able to move on. Jordan Love in Green Bay. The Cowboys have no plan in place right now, not even a bridge quarterback that would be capable of starting for this franchise. That's my biggest concern as we go back to the Chad Hutchinson, Drew Henson days.
And that very well could be happening, because here's the thing. With what you started with, you said about Dak, potentially would he, be willing to come back or take less, or even what if Jerry, when the season's over, depending on how the season goes, what if he doesn't even make an offer? What if he is at a point where he's like, we have to go in another direction? I'm not saying that's a good idea, but I'm saying that you can't count that out where and I guess I shouldn't say not make an offer. There clearly would be an offer. It would have to be a very team-friendly offer. But I'm saying that what if there's a scenario where Jerry's not even looking to try and be the highest bidder? And if Dak leaves, then so be it. He leaves, risky play. He's 31 years old. He's still got a lot of good football left. But you can't rule out that Jerry Jones might not be willing to go down that path, because if he wasn't, Dak would have a contract by now. That has to be part of what he's factoring in. And he might not even know that plan right now, what the quote-unquote plan B would be in the offseason, whether it be to draft a quarterback or make a move for a veteran off another team. He might not even know what that is yet. But this could very well be, when he says all in, that he's all in on, well, we're going to evaluate this thing on our coaching staff. Much of them are in the final year of their contract or one-year deals. And our quarterback, because if you make those 2 changes in the offseason, that's as big of a change as you can make, as changing your head coach and your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, no question about it. And, John, I have to believe, too, a lot of this comes down to what he would have to pay Dak Prescott right now. He would have to make him the highest paid quarterback in the league. You're talking about a ton of money and a commitment as well, and that has got to factor in, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. But I just think that from his perspective, he probably looks at it as, right now it's 55 would be the top of the market, would at least tie with a few other quarterbacks. But you can even say 60. I think Jerry looks at it as, well, if we have a really good season and Dak, leads this team, deep into the playoffs, I have no problem giving $60 million in the offseason to him or whatever it takes to get the deal done, because he'll have seen what he needed to see, and he's fine with committing for another 4 years. He probably would want to even do more, but let's say 4 years at, 60 to 63 million, something like that. I think then if Jerry saw that, it would be a lot easier for him to give that next contract, as opposed to where he might be sitting right now. Because I do think that Jerry kind of likes, I see a Dak that is probably, I don't know if frustrated is the word, but he doesn't really care about what Jerry's saying about the contract or whatever. The actions to him are going to speak louder than words. And Dak's going to have an edge. If he goes into the season, if he walks out on that field in Cleveland, he doesn't have a new contract, he's obviously going to have an edge on, well, they don't believe in me. They didn't give me a new contract, and they must not believe in me. I'm going to show them. And there's a part of Jerry Jones that I guarantee you believes, hey, that might bring out the best in Dak Prescott. We might see the best Dak Prescott we've ever seen, because this might be the angriest Dak Prescott we've ever seen.
It's going to be interesting. John Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz. I just know Jerry wants to win. And GM Jerry, despite what he might have said in a very profanity-laced interview this week about how great he is as a GM, has really put his organization in a bad situation as the general manager, almost fireable if he wouldn't the guy looking in the mirror, because he doesn't have a plan. And I look at the rest of this team and what he's already invested big contracts in. I just don't see how he doesn't take care of the most important position out there. And this is all on GM Jerry, who thinks he's the greatest GM in the NFL.
Yeah, and he'll be heavily criticized if that happens. Because that's the thing with the Cowboys. I have a feeling it's not going to be an easy decision. Whereas an easy decision would be, oh, the Cowboys went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, Jerry's just going to write whatever check for Dak. Or the flip side, it's just an epic disaster. The team just falls apart early in the season. They win 5 games. It's easy. You clean house. Changes need to be made. It's not going to be like that. They're going to win 9, 10, 11 games to come down to January. They'll win maybe a playoff game or 2, won't get to the NFC Championship game, and then that's when Jerry will have to decide, well, do you want to pay Dak, or do you want to try and go into, as you mentioned, those years between Troy Aikman and Tony Romo? And to be honest with you, he might be willing to do that. I will say the 2 things about Jerry that will surprise me a little bit in the next off season would be is if he goes in another direction at coach, it would at his age, I find it hard to believe that he'd go with the young let's say coordinator type. I think he'd want something more established, and I feel the same way about quarterback. I find it hard to believe that he'd want to go, well, we'll find our quarterback high in this draft. I think he'll want to make a move for a quarterback off of another team, and obviously the chances are very, very, very likely, 99.9% chance that quarterback, that whoever it is not going to be as good as Dak Prescott.
Wow. I tell you what, you got to love covering the Dallas Cowboys. Talking about the Dallas Cowboys, there's always a little drama involved. I do have to ask you this, because the one thing that I will say about Dak Prescott is very typically he's a team guy. He gets up on the podium, he says the right thing. He's a leader. Everybody loves him in the locker room. I'm not sure I have ever heard Dak negotiate. Maybe that's not the right word, but it kind of feels that way to me in the press, the way he did yesterday. And I think he kind of laid down a little something too. He's, with not caring what Jerry says, and the fact that it would tell me how they feel about me, basically. Have you ever heard that, John?
I haven't, but I completely understand it, because he obviously is very wealthy, Dak Prescott is. And so it's not like this is, let's say most people's 9 to 5, like, hey, my contract's up at the end of the year. I'm going to be out there. Hopefully I can get something else if this thing doesn't go through. I got to feed my family, and, I got to be able to put a roof over their head. Like, this is bad, He doesn't have that type of pressure on him, because whichever way it goes, he's going to be fine. But he also knows that there is going to be such a huge market for him. And so he has so much leverage on his side too, that it's like he can say all of that, because it's not like he's going to say any of that and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, be careful. This might impact your chance of continuing being the Cowboys quarterback after this year. If you're him and they don't give you a new contract and they let you get a free agency and there's a bidding war for you, you won't care about what the Cowboys didn't do. You will be so motivated for whatever new team you go to show, oh, they thought I was the problem. I'll show you that I wasn't the problem. And on top of that, you're making 60, 65 million, if not more, per year, and you're going to still have tons of endorsements and everything like that. So in a way, yeah, of course he's betting on himself, but also it's betting on yourself with, the parachute's pretty obvious. And honestly, there is a chance that it's not a parachute. It's jumping out of the plane onto a bigger, better plane. That's a possibility too. So I think he's in a great spot to talk exactly like he did yesterday.
John Machota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz. We spend all this time talking about Dak. I'm just curious, when you got to visit with Dalvin Cook yesterday, could you tell how much was left in his tank? Because I look now, you got Zeke and you got Dalvin Cook. You got 2 guys that might have half a tank.
Yeah. And you got 2 guys that, it's very possible that, neither of them come close to leading this team in rushing. I still would say Rico Dowdle is the favorite to be their top rusher. In a way, I just feel like the Dalvin Cook thing was Dalvin really wanted to come to the Cowboys. Mike Zimmer was a huge part, might have been the biggest part in that happening. And so why would the Cowboys turn that down if they think he's in shape enough? It's not, he's on the practice squad. It's not like it was a significant investment. So why not make that investment, especially in nowadays where, veterans can be on the practice squad like that, and you can call them up on moment's notice. So at least 3 times you can. Why not kick the tires on it? And yeah, I don't see a backfield that it's like, oh, they're going to split it 3 ways between Dalvin Cook, Zeke, and Rico. But now you at least have some insurance that if Zeke doesn't look that great, Then you got Dalvin. And if Dalvin doesn't look that great, then maybe it's Malik Davis or maybe that's Deuce Vaughn. I think Rico is set. Like Rico, to me, like I said, I think he'll be their leading rusher. I think he'll have the most rushing touchdowns on the team. I think he'll get the most carries. They got to find a complement or two to him where they're not going to be there's no backs on this team they're carrying it 20 times a game. I think Rico gets it, 10, 12 times. I think one of these other guys gets it maybe 8 or 9 times, and they kind of play with whoever has the hot hand and go from there. The only reason I don't think that it's that big of a deal is because they really don't have much money invested in it. And so if it doesn't work out, kind of, okay, we'll move on to the next plan, because it's not like they're really mortgaging very much on the position.
No doubt. I tell you what, John, I look at Dalvin Cook and didn't play much last year. He looks like he's in great shape, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. And I look for him to do some good things if given the opportunity. And I hope they do give him the opportunity. But I want to ask you this, and I don't want to start up with my Deuce Vaughn stuff, but why in the world do they keep him? Is it only because of special teams? I know he looked good in the preseason, but he looked good in last year's preseason too. Why Deuce Vaughn, and what is it about him that the Cowboys like so much?
Well, I do think that he got better throughout camp in terms of his impact, and then obviously in the preseason, he showed enough there that probably kept them to where, yeah, this guy is definitely in on the bubble talk. He's going to be one of the guys that when we cut it down to 53, he's going to be close. This isn't going to be a lot. But the one thing that we don't know about right now, and I would say other than the handful of, well, it's more than a handful, the players and the coaches in the NFL, we don't know what's going to happen with this new kickoff thing. And nobody has shown anything in the preseason. Heck, these teams have barely shown anything in the training camp portions, or I watched 2 full practices where the Cowboys practiced against the Rams, and there wasn't a lot there. But I wonder if he's part of that plan of what they're going to do on these in the return game, because Rico Dowdle had been one of the returners. Mike McCarthy said the other day that Rico's going to be doing a lot less on special teams because of his role on offense. So I wonder if they have, let's say John Fossil has some plans for Deuce, alongside Kevontae Turpin in that return game. And maybe it's something that they're going to try out early in the year. And if it doesn't work out and they don't get much from him there and he's not helping much on offense, well, that's when you let him go. And maybe that's when you bump Dalvin Cook up to onto the roster from the practice squad. I don't know that just because, anybody's on the 53 right now in that running back room, it doesn't mean that they're going to be there this entire season. Things can change. If a guy isn't running well, again, there's not a big investment in any of these guys. They can move on and hand the ball to the next guy.
Absolutely. John Machota, follow him on Twitter at John Machota, Jon Machota. Subscribe to The Athletic. John, enjoy the long weekend. Next Friday, we're talking about game 1 against the Browns.
I am looking forward to. I'm making my first trip to Kyle Field tomorrow. So
nice.
I've heard a lot of good things. It hasn't worked out with my schedule with Cowboys and things like that. So I wanted to go to a good game, and so I think the place will be rocking. So I'm looking forward to it.
Tell me you're not a Domer. You're not a Domer, are you?
My brother is a huge Notre Dame fan, and I mean I grew up, probably about a 4-hour drive from Notre Dame. I wouldn't say that I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I will be rooting for Notre Dame tomorrow.
All right, good stuff.
I love you anyway, John.
Machota from The Athletic. Have a great weekend. Have a good time at Kyle Field. I'm jealous. That's going to be a great time. John Machota and all our guests on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house through the years. They've added extra outlets in the garage because the builder never puts enough in there. Put up a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whatever your project is, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle. The weekend is done. Aggies, how you feeling? Texas fan, where you at? We'll talk about it.
And it's NFL Week 1. Cannot wait to dive into that schedule. We'll be here at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Congressman Joaquin Castro. Here in Military City, USA, we're proud to stand by our veterans. Every year, my office is honored to help San Antonio veterans and military families with delayed benefits, claims, and service questions. Just know that if you need a hand, we're here for you. Call 210-348-8216 or visit castro.house.gov/help to learn more. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Can you dig it? Come into any Ewald Kubota dealer and dig the savings on the full line of Kubota excavators, like 0%, 0 down for 48 months. Plus, save up to $10,000 off. Come see us. Kubota deals are here. Kubota deals are now.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Hey, sports bettors, Joe Reinigal here to tell you about my favorite sports book and casino, BetUS.com. You know, football is back, so it's time to get in on the action. I endorse one sports book and casino, and that is BetUS. BetUS went large for you this season. A huge offer, 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Get started today at BetUS.com or give them a call, 1-800-MY-BETUS. BetUS, where the game begins.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive. After a total renovation of their greens, Olympia Hills invites you to their grand relaunch event the weekend of September 13th. Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that's been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Follow on social media for updates and witness the transformation of your favorite course. Discover premier golfing in Bexar County with the grand relaunch the weekend of September 13th. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Along with Joe Reinigal, I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter and Instagram at Joe Reinigal210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. The station is at SA Sports Star. And go follow San Antonio Sports Star on Instagram at SA Sports Star. There is an incredible video up today that I'm sure you all are going to enjoy, and we'd like for you to comment on it as well on Instagram at SA Sports Star. Reinigal, let's see, 541. you're about 16 minutes away from a cold beer there at the I-10 Ice House.
You're not kidding, and I've already talked to the bartender, so it's like as soon as he sees me take off the headset, it's going to be right there.
It's going to be right there ready to go.
Ready to go.
And a cheeseburger for $2.31. Random number. Yeah, it's kind of like the beer is $2.08. I love the random numbers that they have there at the I-10 Ice House.
Well, there's a method to it, Minix. Let me tell you the method. Because when you add tax, which they have to do, it rounds it up to $2.50. So that's see how that works. And it's a nice round number. It's still a hell of a deal. So a cheeseburger is $2.31 with tax. It's $2.50. So you see, there's a method to that madness.
Now I gotta call you out because you did say it is an Aggie-owned yet Longhorn-friendly establishment.
It is,
or is it just your idiotic Alice, Texas? I went to Texas State math, but you just said the beer is $2.08 and with tax it rounds up to $2.50. The burger is $2.31 and rounds up to $2.50. How can both of those be true mathematically?
Now, see, I don't think I said anything about the beer. I said the cheeseburger.
You said the beer was $2.08 and it rounds up to $2.50.
Did I say anything about beer, Shelton? No. I said nothing about beer. What I said was the cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is $2.31 on the flyer. If you round it up with tax, it comes out to $2.50.
Check the
tape.
I
don't know what tax is $2.08. Or what the tax is on that. I'm not sure exactly, but you get a burger without cheese for $2.08, and whatever the tax is on that, it'll round up to whatever it is. But look, that special's going on until 8 o'clock tonight. Even 2 hours after we're off the air out here at I-10 Ice House, it continues on here. And look, it goes on throughout the weekend. You got football here all weekend long, and this is a great place to come and check out all the football games. Again, it's going to be rocking for that Aggie game because it is Aggie-owned, but Longhorn-friendly. So you come in here, watch the Longhorn game, stick around for the Aggie game. It's going to be a fun time here at the I-10 Ice House.
Well, and I got to hope, Joe, that a guy named Cody Valdez comes by the I-10 Ice House and sees you, since the beers are $2.08 plus tax, whatever that comes out to. And you said there's no math in this job, but Cody was our winner yesterday in the Tri-County Meat Market Grilling with the Blitz contest. He got that $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. He emailed me back saying, thanks. This is the same Cody that Joe owes a beer for helping y'all during that outage. Tell him I didn't forget. Now, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
How's he talking about?
Apparently, you owe this guy a beer. Maybe he'll go by and it will only cost you $2.08 there at the I-10 Ice House.
Well, all of a sudden I owe people beer. How does that happen? I don't know. It's like some random dude coming out of the woodwork. Yeah, I mean, back in, 2014, I helped Ryan Eagle tie his shoe, and he said he'd buy me a beer. I mean, what the hell's going on?
The fact that you remember not knowing how to tie your shoe is pretty impressive.
Well, I'm just saying.
Now you wear those Hey Dude slip-ons, so you don't have to worry about it because it was costing you too much in beer.
You're damn right, buddy.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's all about comfort now. I don't give a damn about style. It's all about comfort. That's the way it works these days.
How old are you? Although I've got a couple pair of Hey Dudes, and I wear Hokas because they're comfortable.
Exactly. Okay,
so
it's
you're right.
225 minutes. Shelton did the math, so the beer is $2.25.
Shelton didn't do any math. Don't lie. I just saw him walk by. He went up and asked the bartender.
That's exactly what he did.
I mean, let's be honest. Shelton isn't doing any math. He went and asked.
He did, but he got the answer. You know, that's the crack engineer that he is. He goes up and he finds out the answer to all the questions we have.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're doing some grilling on this long weekend, there's football on, make sure you upload those photos to sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page, for your chance to win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market, sasportstar.com. And while you're there, we're a week away, but you know, the NFL starts on Thursday. Our Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Go get registered now and make your picks starting. You can do the week one picks now if you want at sasportstar.com. Grand prize winner locally gets $1,000 worth of tickets from Awesome Tickets, and weekly winners get a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. So go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. You know, every Friday it's a tradition about this time. we make our picks. We call it Prime Picks on the Blitz.
Prime Picks on the Blitz.
You know, kind of like a lot of these teams with layups this week, we should all start with great records. Let's go around. UTSA against Kennesaw State. Is anybody picking the Owls?
No. UTSA
All right.
rolls in this one, and they get ready for that huge game next week against Texas State.
Texas A&M against Notre Dame. The Aggies are favored in this one, Pledge.
Yeah, they may be favored, but I'm going with the quarterback that I trust most, and that's Riley Leonard, who was in a Heisman. Mike Elco's defense pretty well. And I just don't know who Connor Wegman is. He's always hurt.
Yeah, but he's not hurt tomorrow. He's going to be able to play. No Reuben Owens is a concern, but I think A&M and Kyle Field, it's going to be nuts there. And while I do like Riley Leonard at Duke, I don't know about Riley Leonard at Notre Dame. I'm taking the Aggies.
You know, I got to say the same thing. This should be a great matchup, and I love the fact that this is taking place. It's such an unknown for both of these teams because you just don't know. This first game, we're going to find out a lot about them both, but I like the atmosphere, the home field advantage. For me, that makes the difference. I'm going with the Aggies.
The Longhorns have Colorado State tomorrow afternoon. Anybody taking Colorado State?
No.
Absolutely not.
All right, Texas across the board there. UIW is playing North Colorado. Anybody know the mascot for North Colorado?
Bison?
Good guess. I have no idea, but I'm taking the Cardinals. UIW rolls.
I'm going with the Cards, too. I mean, they're at home. Let's get the season started off on the right foot.
Northern Colorado Bears, by the way, but I'm going with the Cardinals.
All right.
Yeah. Texas State's taking on Lamar. I love what G.J. Kinney is doing up there in San Marcos. I think they win big.
Well, yeah, I tell you, absolutely. And you know, Lamar's one of those teams that's always kind of said to be on the come, but they never do. And
Yeah.
Texas State's a beast this year. You got to go with the Cats.
Absolutely. Pledge is taking his alma mater as well. Clemson and Georgia is going to be a fun game. I hope it's a fun game. I know Georgia's lost a lot of people, but they're Georgia.
You know, you look at this game, and I think Clemson could keep it close for a little while. I really do. But Georgia's unbelievable, and I think they win it all this year. And I'm talking about into the playoffs and all of it. So I like the Georgia Bulldogs.
Miami against Florida. Former UIW quarterback Cam Ward, now the starting quarterback for the Hurricanes. I love Cam Ward. Florida's kind of down. Miami wins.
Pledge, what do you got?
I'm going with the beginning of the Cam Ward era. I am taking Cam Ward.
You know, I want to see that young man do really well. I really do on a big stage like that. So my heart's with Miami this week. I'm going to take them.
I was a little surprised. Let's see. What do we have? What's the next game?
LSU.
LSU against USC. This is the game in Vegas that LSU doesn't want to play. They tried to get out of it, those weasels. Part of me wants to take USC because of that. At the same time, I don't know what Lincoln Riley is going to have at quarterback, and he doesn't have Cliff Kingsbury anymore. I hate to take LSU, but LSU.
Dude, let me tell you something about USC. They're going to suck, all right? And LSU is going to be a problem for a lot of people. Go Tigers.
Look, I don't care who they have at quarterback, Lincoln Riley, because he's going to make them good. We saw that.
Sean Payton or what?
We saw it last year when Caleb Williams went out. The problem is we don't know what they have on defense because that thing sucked last year, and I doubt it got much better this year. I'm going with LSU.
Well, I mean, Colorado told us they had a better defense than they did last year, and watching that game last night, that's not true.
They lied.
Yeah.
Looked better in the second half.
James Madison against Charlotte.
Boy, a barn burner.
Ryan Eagle, can you name the James Madison mascot?
Is it James Madison Dolly Madison's?
No.
I have no clue, dude.
Close. They are the Dukes. Ben DiNucci, probably their most famous alum.
DiNucci. I'm going with Charlotte in this one because I don't know either one, but Charlotte. I don't know why, but I am.
You dated a girl named Charlotte at one point, or you remember the
never,
book about the spider?
Never have dated Charlotte.
James Madison is one of those teams that, at the FC level, they were dominant, won a lot of national championships. JMU big over Charlotte in this one.
JMU huge over Charlotte.
Oh, really? So you got what do you guys know?
They would have been they moved up and couldn't be.
We know more than you.
Apparently so.
And here's one, Joe. You don't really have a choice in the matter. You, my friend, have to take Campbell in their game against Liberty. Now, Liberty's probably going to roll, but do you know what the mascot is for Campbell? It's the only reason why the only reason why that Campbell, I don't even know where they are out of, but they make the list here just for you, Joe Reinigo. You have the Liberty Flames against the Campbell Fighting Camels.
The Camels.
The
How about that?
Camels.
They're going to get rolled, but I'll take them anyway. Liberty's always pretty good. Liberty's pretty good.
Yes, they are.
But I'll take Campbell. What the hell?
You're taking the Camels.
The Camels.
You're an idiot.
Day!
Starting off strong this year in Prime Picks, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Now, I tried to put some layups in there for everybody to pad the stats, just like, every team not named A&M seems to be doing this weekend, looking for the easy wins, and Joe still can't come out ahead.
It's preseason, man. It's preseason. I got to get warmed up.
These are regular season picks, man. They go on the final record.
I'm like A&M and Notre Dame. It's the first game. I got to see what I got.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we know it ain't much.
Oh, man. Hey, you got a big game tonight out there, huh, Minix?
Yeah, we've got a good game tonight here at Hero Stadium. Johnson against Judson. I got to break in a new broadcast partner, a guy named Nick Solis, who is actually a cop. So I don't know if I should call him Officer Solis or not. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. He walks in and he's got all his cop gear on.
Oh,
really? I thought I was in trouble initially.
Well, you probably are. He'll wait till after the game. Make sure you got AA Best Bail Bonds on speed dial.
Well, I mean, always 210-225-2121. Some things you don't forget. Have a great long weekend, Ryan Nagel. Extra innings with Pledge coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're back for the pregame show at 7, kickoff tonight at 7:30. And if you're looking for a place to go watch any of the college football